Miss Can't Be Wrong. You still here? You're my only person. See how long it takes to get people and how many people will actually get on Black Friday. We shall see. Only one person still. Two now. Guys, hit the like button. Both of you. I hate doing the shows this way, these vertical lives, because, you got to start out like this. You don't already have a crowd waiting. But this is the way I have to do them right now. Hopefully soon I could start doing them like I do my regular YouTube live streams. Thank you, Miss Can't Be Wrong. What do you think about the title? Why the fuck is hates capitalized? The H and hates capitalized. Wait a fucking minute. I gotta fix that. Can't have that. Why the fuck is it like that? First of all, it's gonna do that completely over. All right. Yeah, I had to do that over. Let me upload it real quick. Love the title. It's true. He hates anything black. Oh, let me do this differently. 6 people, hit the like button, guys. I know the majority MAGA maniacs won't know why it's called Black Friday. Oh, no, of course not. All right. I hate having to do this while I'm live, but I got to fix that. That's going to drive me crazy. I don't want to be like a MAGA person or Trump. Like they use random capitals and stuff. Hey, it's the Hate Trump channel. Smart people will move along. Smart people will move along. Okay, Mike. So why don't you move along? Why don't you do us all a favor and move along instead of whining and bitching like a fucking child in the chat? Huh? Why don't you do that, Mike? 9 people listening to this BS, and that's 9 too many. I haven't even started yet, but sure. Yep. Mike likes to whine and piss and moan in the chat. That's what he does. He doesn't like that I tell the truth about his orange jerk off leader. All right. Got to do it again. Still not going to work. Host pushes lies. Blood-addled, all I ask is that you tell me which lies I've told. That's all. There's only 15 people, so I'll see your comment. Just please tell me what I've lied about. And I mean, if you say that I push lies, there's got to be specific things that you have in mind. There has to be. You wouldn't just say I lie and then not have any examples of what I lie about, right? That would be ridiculous. So do me the favor and tell me what it is I lie about, and we could talk about it. Can you make a donut with your mouth? Let me see. You want me to post the number? No, not yet. You said Kamala Harris was a good candidate. No, I didn't. I said she was better than Trump. And she was. Anybody would be better than Trump, blood-addled. Kermit the Frog, Big Bird, one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Anybody would be a better president than Trump. He is the worst president in history. How do you get carpet burn on your head? Well, or it could be that I sliced my fucking skin off when I was shaving my head, which would be the obvious answer, considering that it's obvious that I shake my head, right? Or shave my head, isn't it? So, yeah, it's carpet burn. That's what it is. It's not that I cut myself shaving, because that would be the simplest answer. What's a lie? Definitely better than Rump. Oh, without a doubt. Even Mike's trailer park neighbors avoid him. I guarantee it. Here's the stupid and idiot lunatic. Stupid and idiot lunatic? Well said. That's a lie. Okay, I don't know what's a lie. You just keep saying that's a lie. And if you do it one more time, you're going to get blocked. Because I don't like people spamming the chat. See, host pushes lies. Okay. Now, blood-addled, I asked, and I'll ask again. What have I lied about? What makes him the worst in his cabinet? What do you mean? The worst in his cabinet? Well, they're all bad, but Donald Trump is the scum of the earth. I mean, he's worse than all of them, and even they are all scumbags. So, I just do debates as people decide they want to debate me, But many of these videos have debates. People called in. I just did one last night. It's probably right around the middle, towards the end, maybe a little. And you could go look at it and watch the debate. Hey, I'm more conservative, but I do not like Trump. Yeah, I know this about you, Casey. I don't like either choice. If not lying, if you're stupid. Or it's not lying if you're stupid. Okay. Whatever you say, but you wouldn't debate me by any chance right now, would you, Anthony Sprague? Kamala Harris being a better candidate than Trump. That first of all, that can't be a lie because it's called an opinion. There's no fact of either. But my opinion is that she's better than Trump, and I could give you 1,000 reasons why. I was saying that's a lie to the things that you were saying. Pay attention. Yeah, Denise Shannon. After I say them, I forget what I said. I have a horrible short-term memory. Everybody in blue in the chat knows that about me. So instead of just counting on me remembering which specific thing, why don't you name the specific thing in the comment? And nothing I've said was a lie. Trump made trillion-dollar trade deals, 7-piece deals, closed the border. Could you tell me exactly which trillion-dollar trade deals he made and which peace deals? Thank you. Kamala, she can't even say 2 words together. Do you want me to show you the debate against Trump? I got to do this on every live lately. You realize that Kamala is a Howard University graduate who spoke for a living, right? Like she spoke in front of judges and juries as a prosecutor, as a district attorney, as an attorney general, as a U.S. senator, and as a vice president. But yeah, no, she can't speak. It's not, like Trump. Trump is literally, linguists have studied his language. He speaks on a 3rd grade level. But you think it's Kamala, the woman who is light years smarter than him, that can't put 2 words together. You know what's funny when you guys say that is if you've ever watched Kamala, you could never say that honestly. So what I've learned about a lot of you is that you've just never watched her. You've just never listened to her. And you hear other assholes such as yourself saying it, so you just repeat it. But I could show you Kamala speaking very eloquently and articulately with no problem. 7-piece deals. Yeah. They just listen to him. That's why I ask him to name the specific ones, because they just listen to him when he says he made 7-piece deals. Every time I see a China-made MAGA hat, I think, make Argentina great again. They had to hide her interviews from being aired so that people won't see how she can't speak. That never happened. Name me the specific interview that was hidden. You know that she debated Donald Trump and she literally mollywopped his ass. You know that, right? Like she destroyed him in the debate. She gave, I don't even know, she probably did 24 rallies. So why would they hide her interviews when she was speaking at rallies like every day? Give me one reason she's better. She's never been accused of raping a 13-year-old girl. She was never best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. She never was sued by the Nixon administration for refusing to rent apartments to black people. She was not accused of 27 sexual assault, or she wasn't accused of sexual assault 27 times like Donald Trump. She didn't cheat on her husband like he cheated on all 3 of his wives. She never stiffed workers and contractors like he did. She's not a 34-time felon. She was never found civilly liable for sexual assault, and she wasn't impeached twice. Plus, she had real policy ideas, and Trump didn't and still doesn't. 13 billionaires, over 20 Fox News people, and 1 golf caddy. What an administration Agent Orange put together. I know, right? But he's draining the swamp. The Operation Old Catch-Up Ear completely was Operation Bubba's Dick and his jaw Piggly. LMAO, as if asking what the trade deals were or what the peace deals were somehow makes them not valid or not exist. No, that's exactly what it makes them blood-addled. Because if they existed, you could tell me what they are. But you don't know shit. And he did not make 7 peace deals, and that's why you can't name them. And he hasn't made $1 trillion trade deals either. Okay, maybe a couple. But he says he raised first of all, he says he got $17 trillion, in investments into America. That is not the same as a trade deal. A trade deal is something different. A trade deal is not somebody giving you money as an investment or for nothing. It's them giving you money in exchange for something, which is more like a sale. It's a trade deal. It's how it works. They buy stuff off of us. They're not investing money in the country. Secondly, $17 trillion. Where is it? We couldn't afford to extend the ACA subsidies. There doesn't seem to be money to fund food stamps, or at least there wasn't for a while there. Nothing, right? But he raised $17 trillion. When the entire GDP of the United States of America is $28 trillion, you guys believe him when he says he raised $17 trillion. And the funny part is, when you go to the White House website, it even says like 8.6. But he says 17. Now, lately, he's been saying 20 and 21 trillion. He lies through his teeth. Remember when he complained about fact checking? Him and Kamala, yeah. JD. JD said, I thought we weren't going to fact check. I had a guy come in this chat the other day and say fact checking is bullshit. I swear to God. And I said, what do you mean fact checking is bullshit? And he said, liberals created fact checking. Well, doesn't that tell you something? Yeah, that's because they want actual facts spoken and not bullshit. This guy was making the argument that it's better to let people lie than to fact check them. Imagine that. I wonder why he's a Trump supporter. Oh, they are. Miss Can't Be Wrong. They are. Kamala couldn't even answer a basic economic question to save her life. Yes, she could. I could, again, bring up the debate right now. Yeah, I know I am. I know, James Arnold. I know. She made herself look like a fool. When? Because she sounded like a fucking idiot. Okay, let's take a look. First of all, since you say sounded like an idiot, let me show you old demented Don answering a question, except it's a different question than the one that was asked. And then we'll play some Kamala.
Okay, please, in the back.
Dana Marie McNichol, Fox News Channel. Mr. President, is there an expected time frame that detainees will spend here, days, weeks, months? And does that have anything to do with the immigration judges you just spoke about being trained and staffed here?
When you say, what was the first part of your question?
Is there a specific time frame you expect the detainees to spend here? Days, weeks, months?
In Florida?
Yes, here at Alligator Alcatraz.
I'm going to spend a lot. Look, this is my home state. I love it. I love your government. I love all the people around. These are all friends of mine. They know them very well. I mean, I'm not surprised that they do so well. They're great people. Ron has been a friend of mine for a long time. I feel very comfortable in the state. I'll spend a lot of time here. I want to, for 4 years, I've got to be in Washington, and I'm okay with it because I love the White House. I even fix up the little Oval Office. I make it, it's like a diamond. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It wasn't maintained properly, I will tell you that. But even when it wasn't, it was still the Oval Office, so it meant a lot. But I'll spend as much time as I can here. My vacation is generally here because it's convenient. I live in Palm Beach. It's my home. And I have a very nice little place, nice little cottage to stay at, right? But we have a lot of fun, and I'm a big contributor to Florida, pay a lot of tax. And a lot of people move from New York, and I don't know what New York is going to do. A lot of people moved to Florida from New York, and it was for a lot of reasons, but one of them was taxes. The taxes are so high in New York, they're leaving. I don't know what New York's going to do about that, because some of the biggest, wealthiest people and some of the people that pay the most taxes of any people anywhere in the world, for that matter, they're moving to Florida and other places. So we're going to have to help some of these states out, I think. But thank you very much. I'll be here as much as I can.
I mean, literally demented. He heard a different question than the one that was asked, and he gave answers related to 15 different subjects. He just goes all over the fucking place. He actually had to nickname it the Weave. He's so incoherent. Now, let's take a look at Kamala and see how she speaks, since you guys, very intelligent MAGA supporters, say that she can't string two words together. Let's take a look.
The window, she's wanted it to be brought back.
Security. We know it's an issue that's important to Republicans, Democrats, voters across the board in this country. Vice President Harris, you were tasked by President Biden with getting to the root causes of migration from Central America. We know that illegal border crossings reached a record high in the Biden administration. This past June, President Biden imposed tough new asylum restrictions. We know the
We'll talk about windmills cause cancer I know there are so many families, the most conservative.
Look at the governor, former governor of Virginia. The governor of Virginia said, we put the baby aside and then we determine what we want to do.
We know that illegal.
God damn.
The border to help.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I just want to get her whole answer in here.
But my question to you tonight is, why did the administration wait until 6 months before the election to act? And would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. And let me say that the United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill, which I supported. And that bill would have put 1,500 more border agents on the border to help those folks who are working there right now overtime, trying to do their job. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States. I know there are so many families watching tonight who have been personally affected by the surge of fentanyl in our country. That bill would have put more resources to allow us to prosecute transnational criminal organizations for trafficking in guns, drugs, and human beings. But you know what happened to that bill? Donald Trump got on the phone, called up some folks in Congress, and said, kill the bill. And you know why? Because he'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And understand, this comes at a time where the people of our country actually need a leader.
You know, it's funny. When you guys see that, do you see a woman that can't string two words together? See, this is what I mean about them being delusional. Ryan, you're literally watching her give a full answer, and you're saying she never gave a full answer in her life. It's astonishing.
Who engages in
but who you're actually describing is Donald Trump.
Solutions, who actually addresses the problems at hand. But what we have in the former president is someone who would prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And I'll tell you something, he's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that is being raised. And I'm going to actually do something really unusual, and I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during
watch what she does to this lunatic. This is how much smarter than him she is. Look at what she does to him. Look how easily she triggers this fucking madman.
The course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
See, all the things she said didn't bother him. That pissed him off because that's all he cares about is crowd sizes.
And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you. You will not hear him talk about your needs, your dreams, and your desires. And I'll tell you, I believe you deserve a president who actually puts you first. And I pledge to you that I will.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump, on that point, I want to get your response.
Well, I would like to respond.
Let me just ask, though, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so? That would have put thousands of additional agents and officers on the border.
First, let me respond as to the
Please.
rallies. She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go.
He is so fucking triggered. Watch.
And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there. And then showing
Look at her face. I love it. She knows she just smoked his ass.
them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened 3.5 years ago. And what's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
There you go. So that's Kamala versus Trump. Okay. So who's more well-spoken and who's smarter? Because this dickhead took the bait like that and went fucking ape shit. Lost his mind. Meanwhile, by the way, I just want to remind you guys, she's spent almost $2 billion and went $20 million in debt. No, she spent the $1.5 million that was raised for her, which is what every candidate does. They spend the money that's raised for them. Anyway, you notice that eating the cats, eating the dogs thing, as soon as he won the election, it went away. Yeah, they're eating the pets of the people that live there, he said. Great, right? Now, soon as he got elected, no more, not once did you hear about them eating the pets, the Haitian immigrants in Springfield eating cats and dogs. You know why? Because it was bullshit to begin with. J.D. Vance was asked about it on the news, and he said, listen, if you got to make stuff up sometimes to get your point across, that's what you have to do. So this is your guy. Yep. And I heard somebody wants to debate me. If you do, it's 410-941-9850. Let me just make sure the phone is charged. It is. Guys, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. It would mean a lot to me, especially if you're on my side. I don't expect MAGA to do it. But you guys that are on the right side of history here, do me a favor, please. And hit the like button and subscribe right now. Before you forget, it's very important. All right, let me see. He is also the one who campaigned on opening the Epstein files, releasing them, and then once he was elected, all of a sudden it was a hoax. Yeah, it was a hoax, right? And here's the best part. Think about this. It was a hoax by the Democrats, he says. Okay, so in other words, the Democrats got together years ago, even before he ran the first time, and they said, we're going to create this bullshit hoax, these Epstein files. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to put ourselves in them. We're going to put ourselves all over the files. And then we're not going to use them. And we're going to let him get elected. Then we're not going to use them. He'll lose. And then when he runs again, we're still not going to use him. And we'll let him get elected again. Brilliant idea, right? Yeah, sure. It's a hoax. What's up?
Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy?
Oh man, what's up, bro? You called me from a different number today. You called me.
No, sir. I use the same phone every time.
You called me like when I wasn't even on YouTube. Like you called me in my personal time and left a message. Are you out of your fucking mind?
No, I did not do that.
Oh, you want me to play the voicemail?
Sure. I didn't leave you any voicemail messages.
You didn't leave me any
Maybe you have more
voicemails.
than one caller in Oklahoma.
No, I'm pretty sure it's you.
Well, you're pretty sure, but you're wrong. Look it up.
Let me check. Let me
No,
see.
you said you were taking callers last night. I called you, and then you screamed at me and hung up.
Hold on one sec. Let me see if I can listen to this while I'm on the phone. My bad, bro. Listen, I was muted because I was going to try to play the voicemail. My fault. Say that again. Ask that question again because I'm an asshole and I was muted. Go ahead.
Sure. So you said yesterday that the issue of trans athletes competing in sports was just a made-up, manufactured scare tactic. That it's not really an issue.
Yeah. At
Don't
first you said manufactured crisis, and I didn't say that because it's no crisis at all. Period. But go ahead.
Okay. So my question is, how come you don't care about the literally hundreds of female athletes, young female athletes who have lost medals to biological men?
How many exactly?
How many?
Yeah.
According to the United Nations, it's over 900.
Over 900.
There's an article by the United Nations called, I think it's called Violence in Women's Sports. You could look it up. 900.
In America.
So is that not enough? What if your daughter was one of those 900? Would you have a different opinion then?
My daughter would be smart enough not to play against the man.
Oh, so they just have to, like, they have a choice, right?
Yeah. The whole team could get together
like the girl
and
that
say,
got her nose broken playing volleyball by a trans guy.
you bring that one up. By the way, that 900, they're all in America, right?
No, that's worldwide.
Exactly. I'm worried about issues in America.
Okay.
And
well,
900, just out of curiosity, hold on, even worldwide, 900 out of 7 billion people.
Exactly.
900 and so, okay, this is definitely a crisis that needs to be addressed immediately.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's not really a crisis because the Olympic Committee said they weren't going to allow that, so makes sense, doesn't it? But another thing I wanted to ask you about is a few days ago you said that, hey, this is totally different than what John Edwards did. People went to jail for colluding. My cat, I got to feed my cat. People went to jail for colluding with the Russians. Those were your exact words.
Yes.
That's not right. Nobody went to jail for colluding with Russians. Give me a name.
Manafort.
Nope. That was FARA violations. I looked it up.
It all came from the Russia, as you call it,
34 people that got
investigation.
arrested. What?
It all came from that investigation. All those busts. Roger Stone, everybody.
Yeah, and look it up. They got busted for tax fraud and other things, but no one got arrested or thrown in jail or convicted for colluding with the Russians, which is exactly what you said.
It was proven that people from the Trump campaign absolutely concluded with Russia. Bro, the fucking Donald Trump, hold on. Donald Trump stood on live TV.
You said people went to jail for colluding
Donald
with
Trump
Russians.
stood
That's
on
totally
live
wrong.
TV and said,
You
go
said
find
people
me.
went to jail.
Yeah, I know,
colluding
Denny.
with
That's how they
Russians.
all are. Donald Trump stood on live TV and said, Russia, please find me the 30,000 emails and you'll be greatly rewarded by the press.
And you think he meant that literally, like, hey, here's my number, go ahead and contact me. It's ridiculous. Again,
He
you
literally
said
meant
people-
for
you
Russia to
said
get him
people
the
went to
Epstein
jail for
or
colluding with
the
Russians, and I'm asking for
files.
names.
Bro, hold on.
Yesterday,
You're
you
telling
bragged
me.
that you don't
Hold
come
on.
on there and
Hold
spout
on.
lies,
Bro,
that you research
if you
everything
talk
you talk
over
about.
me, I'm hanging up on you. So what did Trump mean when he said, Russia, please find the 30,000 emails? What did he mean?
Maybe, just maybe, he was, since the media doesn't report that she took a hammer to 30,000 emails that were subpoenaed by the FBI. I mean, what would have happened if Trump's team would have taken a hammer and destroyed all their devices, all 30,000 emails that were subpoenaed by the FBI? You think he might have been in trouble for that? But
It was a
Hillary Clinton
joke,
got a
Robbie
pat on
Gibbs
the
said. It
wrist.
was a joke. Everything Trump says that makes him look bad is a joke. You guys know that, right?
But I
Everything's a
noticed
joke.
you don't.
I'm
you
talking
don't
to somebody
address
in the
fact that
chat.
She destroyed those 30,000 emails.
Bro, did he say, Russia, find me
Was
the
that illegal?
30,000 emails? You're not going to keep moving
Sure,
the
but the
goalposts.
bigger question is why are there 30,000 emails out there that she eliminated so that we couldn't read that were subpoenaed by the FBI?
What does that have to do with anything?
Isn't that a bigger question?
I don't care.
Well, of course you don't care. You only care about.
No, I don't
Look,
care,
and
bro,
then-
because it's in the fucking past. It doesn't matter. It holds no relevance
Well, it's
today.
not exactly
You
ancient
asked the
history, is
question.
it? I mean, it was.
You asked the question about the Russia collusion thing, and now you moved it all the way to let's talk
No, we
about
can stick on the
what
Russia
Hillary did with
collusion
her
thing.
emails.
Tell me the names of the people who went to jail for colluding with Russia. You said that people went to jail. Those were your exact words.
Yeah.
People went to jail for colluding with Russia. Who went to jail for colluding with Russia?
As part of the
asking you.
Russia collusion investigation, Paul Manafort, Rick Gates, Michael Flynn, Roger Stone, George Papadopoulos, and Michael Cohen went to prison.
For like what, 30 days?
Michael
Papadopoulos
Flynn.
went there for-
Michael Flynn. So now he moved the goalpost. Now it's they
Well,
went
the
to
point
jail,
is, it was
but
just
for
a
how
big
long?
witch hunt.
Bro, Michael
It's
Flynn.
just a big witch hunt. They went in
Listen
there looking
to
for
me.
collusion.
Listen to
and
me,
they found
or I'm
other
going to hang
things.
up on you.
And people like
I'm gonna
you
hang
are
up
still
on
saying
you.
they went to jail for
I'm going to hang
collusion.
up on you.
Why are you lying?
I'm going to hang up on you. Michael Flynn, sentenced to 30 days in prison for lying to the FBI about his communications with Russia's ambassador.
For lying, but not for colluding. For lying, right?
For lying about his communications with Russia's ambassador.
Is that the sort of thing that you go to jail for? Because if so, Jim Comey better get ready for his jail cell because he lied too, right?
We went over this the other day, James. You keep moving the goalposts. Now we're talking about Comey.
I'm not moving anything. I'm trying to get your
Comey's
standards to
statute
be
of
the same for
limitations
both
is
parties.
up. The statute of limitations is up.
Well, the statute of limitations was up on the Eugene Carroll case. They got rid of the statute of limitations just long enough to charge Donald Trump, and then they put the statute back to where it was.
No.
You don't think that's political?
It's not true. In courts all over the fucking country, they put the statute of limitations on hold because of COVID. The courts were
No.
closing down. They couldn't try cases. They were backed up for fucking years when COVID was over. So they extended the statute of limitations by 6 months.
No.
He was
Because,
pardoned by Trump, David. Come on. It doesn't mean he wasn't guilty. Go ahead.
Eugene Carroll claims that she got assaulted by Trump in the 80s or 90s. So
Blood Addle, why don't you
that's
tell
more
us
than
what
2
Trump's
months.
approval
That's
rating
more than
is?
2 months.
Say that again?
You're saying that they just, because of COVID, they extended the statute of limitations.
Mhm.
The supposed crime took place 15 or 20 years ago, right?
It's for civil.
So-
Civil statute of limitations is different than criminal. That's why they
And then
couldn't
did they
try him in a
change-
criminal
Is it
court.
true that they changed the law right back to where it was right after they charged Trump?
No.
Yeah, they did.
How did they change it back?
They absolutely did.
Tell me how.
They said, oh, Trump did this. We think he did this 20 years ago. There's this half-baked story. By the way, Eugene's story about being molested in a department store upstairs,
Uh-huh.
she stole that directly from an episode of Law and Order. You can look it up. It's
Oh,
even
my
the same
God.
store.
Bro, you guys are amazing.
Look it up, dude.
Hey, what do you
It's a
think the
fact.
chances are that the episode of Law and Order is based on Eugene Carroll being assaulted at Bergdorf Goodman's, you fucking idiot? Don't you think
Well, it's
that's
kinda
more
funny that
likely?
the Law and Order episode came before.
Oh, yeah? What
supposed
year was
right.
the Law and Order episode from?
Look it up.
No.
Look it up. I
You
don't have
said
time
it.
to-
Now tell me.
Okay, so the Law and Order episode was in 99.
Oh,
and
so it would be
he
after the E. Jean
supposedly
Carroll.
raped her in 2020. I don't know, dude. I'm just telling you.
He
She got
didn't
the
rape her
story,
in
and she doesn't even
2020.
deny it. She doesn't even deny it.
You just said he raped her in 97.
She even said that she didn't get
Now it's
raped by Trump.
2020.
She told Anderson Cooper that rape was sexy. The people, when they hear the word rape, they think it's something sexy. That's what she
Yes,
said.
exactly. You just answered your question.
And she said it wasn't
she
rape.
said when people hear that word, they think there's something sexy about it. She didn't say she thinks it's sexy. Thank you for answering the question
raped.
for me.
She said she was assaulted. But the thing is, they got rid of the statute of limitations so they could charge him. Then they put it back to where it was right after they charged him.
Hold on 1 second. My whole thing. Can you guys hear me? Fuck. Hold on. Guys, stay right there. I'll be right back. All right, here we are. Now go ahead and say what you said about the statute of limitations.
Well, they said, hey, let's get rid of the statute of limitations so we can charge Trump. They charged Trump. Then they changed the law back to where it was. You can't sue someone for a claim made of something that happened 20 years ago, which makes perfect sense. I mean, if you're going to bring a charge, you can't wait 20 years. There's no witnesses. There's nothing at that point.
No, there was witnesses. There absolutely was. That's why he was found civilly liable. She told people about the crime right after it took place. And again, they didn't change the law back. The statute of limitations was extended by 6 months because of COVID. That's why she was able to sue him. And when you say it went right back, what does that mean? Does that mean that no other cases were charged or were tried civilly because of that statute of limitations? It was a special rule for Donald Trump.
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Okay, you go find me the source that says Donald Trump is the only person this rule applied to, and I will tell you you're correct.
Or you could just tell me the name of another person who got charged for something that happened 20 years ago when this...
No, you're making the accusation, my friend. The burden of proof is on you.
Well,
hold on for a sec. Abel Avery, 87% among Republicans, you fucking Stu-Nod. Go look it up. His approval rating right now is about 38%. I love how they take only Republicans and say that's his approval rating. And the unemployment is up. Go look it up. It's up. It was at a fucking 54-year low under Biden. Now it's up. What's the approval of tariffs? Go check it all out. Come back with the facts. Go ahead, bro. The farmer approval? Oh, my God. Bro, go check it out. Come back. Go ahead, bro.
Well, can I ask you one question before we go?
Yeah.
So you said, hey, if you're going to make these comparisons about Donald Trump and his campaign shenanigans with paying off a porn star, if you're going to give me comparisons, you said, make it so it's actually similar. And you were saying that John Edwards' scandal was not similar. Is that because he was running for vice president instead of president? Is that the main difference that you see?
No. No, it's very simple. Donald Trump's case is unique. John Edwards' case was not the same.
Well, it was worse. It says right here on the internet, while he was charged with soliciting nearly $1 million from wealthy donors to cover up the affair and its resulting child, he had a love child out of wedlock. His wife was dying of cancer. He had an affair. He had a love child. He paid $1 million to cover it up. Let me ask you something. Did he do that in an attempt so that his potential voters wouldn't see what a scumbag he was? If he did do that, then he did the same exact thing that you said Trump did, which was illegal, and he got 34 felonies. But here, this precious dandy John Edwards didn't even get a fine from the FEC. So I guess my point is, it's just...
Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever looked into it to see why John Edwards wasn't prosecuted?
I was watching it when it happened. I'm about 10 years older than you. I kept up with this when it happened. I'm 55.
Jesus Christ, you sound like you're 16. What the fuck?
Well,
okay,
I'm an oldie but a goodie.
Okay.
So anyway, the point I'd like to make to you is, you're on the same side as the deep state, the mainstream media,
Oh,
and the
God.
Democrats. And they've snowblinded everybody, including yourself. If you would just
You're on the
scrutinize
same side
the
as
other
Fox
side, the
News
same-
and OAN and Donald Trump.
Say that again.
You're on the
Chris?
same side as Fox News, OAN, Donald Trump, and
I don't watch Fox News. I got rid of my
Oh,
cable.
no,
I
of
cut my
course not.
cable. That's
Yeah,
why
no,
I get my
definitely not.
entertainment off of YouTube
Yeah, Fox News on
and my
YouTube.
news too. No, the cable was like I was paying over $200 a month for my cable and everything. I got rid of all of it. I got a TV for my kitchen, a brand new TV. All of a sudden, it automatically hooks up to my internet, and I'm getting CNN every time I walk in the kitchen. So that's another point. We are bombarded with left-wing ideology.
So CNN
everywhere.
snuck into
So
your
there's no
television.
surprise that guys like you eat it up, hook, line, and sinker, and you're totally
Wait a minute.
brainwashed by all the propaganda.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that your TV, that CNN snuck into your TV that doesn't have cable?
It hooks up to my Wi-Fi.
But it hooks up to your Wi-Fi,
ABC
but you
and
can only
NBC and all this other
but you can
left-wing
only get
bullshit,
CNN.
BBC.
So you can only get CNN. You know I don't watch CNN, right? You know that everything I tell you is a fact, and you can simply look it up. That's why I always debunk your bullshit
I
on
did,
these
and
shows.
that's when I found out that nobody went to jail for Russian collusion. So that's not really a fact, is it, Chris?
I just named who was it? General Flynn, I believe. I just named somebody.
And you said he got charged for lying. You know what lying means? It means
No,
hey,
no.
Did you talk to some guy named?
He got charged. He got charged for lying about his communications with a Russian ambassador. It is. It literally is.
Just for a minute, okay? It's a proven fact that Joe Biden had an office at Penn State. The communist Chinese had an office at Penn State. They shared office space together. If you looked at the Hunter Biden's laptop, there's emails in there about, hey, Dad, I left the key for you for your new office. He was sharing an office with a Chinese communist leader. And somehow that doesn't make news, but Russia. What about China? Where's China? The left wing totally dropped the ball on that one, including you. So,
Look, can I read you something? Can I read you something?
Sure.
No, Joe Biden did not have an office at Penn State University. It's right there. However, he did have a professorship at University of Pennsylvania.
Oh my God! Can you imagine having him as your professor?
So it's okay. So now it's about him being a professor. You're just going to forget about what you just said in the argument you were making.
Just said it's been well documented.
Documented by who? Okay, listen, I'm going to wait on the phone. Go get me the source that said Joe Biden shared an office with some Chinese, whatever the fuck you said. Go ahead, I'll wait.
Well, it's office space.
Okay, so go get the source, and I'll wait right here. Your phone is in your hand, right?
No, this is my Magic Jack. My cell phone's in my hand.
Okay, so didn't I just say your phone is in your hand?
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
Brother. I appreciate your patience.
No problem. And while I'm at it here, I'm going to read this to you. Okay. John Edwards was not ultimately prosecuted because a jury acquitted him on one charge and deadlocked on the remaining 5 counts, leading the Justice Department to drop all charges. Donald Trump was convicted by a New York jury on all counts of falsifying business records in his separate case. So now you don't have to ask that question anymore.
But he spent $1 million to hide his affair.
Okay, sure he did.
Well, that's what I mean.
Even if he did, bro, you see what I mean? You see how you moved the goalpost? So you asked why wasn't he prosecuted? You asked why wasn't he prosecuted for the same thing Trump was, and I just told you, and you said, yeah, well, he paid $1 million for his cover-up. It doesn't matter. You really believe that Democrats are just going after, like it's just a witch hunt. Donald Trump doesn't do anything wrong.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't do anything wrong. What I'm saying is if you applied the same scrutiny that you applied to Trump and all his affiliates, you would have just as many people on the Democrat side going to jail or losing their jobs.
Like who?
You know, well, let's see, Paul Manafort, he was 70 years old. They put him in solitary confinement for a year, okay? Now, and I was trying to tell you a minute ago, when they get so... And
Sure, Dark
these people
Matters.
got arrested
Sure,
they
sure.
got charged for lying. They got charged for lying. You know what a lie is? A lie is, hey, Chris, did you talk to some guy named Joe Tuesday on your podcast? And you're like, no, I took the day off on Tuesday. Then we say, no, you didn't. You took the day off Wednesday and you did talk to Joe. You're a liar. Now you're getting charged.
That's not something you could be charged for lying about. Okay, tell me exactly what happened with Flynn.
Okay, don't you remember Comey even explained what happened in an interview on TV? He said, well, we decided we would just sneak in a couple. This is the brand new president of the United States.
He didn't say that.
The head of the FBI already working against him.
He didn't say that.
We decided we'd just sneak in some guys. It's never been done before. Probably wouldn't have been done in any other administrations. But we snuck in there. We bamboozled him. We didn't tell him he needed a lawyer or anything.
Get me the source for that.
Answering your questions without a lawyer.
You wouldn't just be saying that, would you? Because you know there is absolutely no proof of that.
You know what happens if you answer questions without a lawyer, right? It's a bad idea, right?
What you just said is complete and total bullshit from top to bottom.
Are you aware that they told him they were going to go after his son? He basically had to bite the bullet so his son, who was innocent, didn't go to jail.
That's not
But, hey,
go after whose son?
Jail for fair violations.
I know Donald Trump and Kash Patel said they were going to go after Biden's son. That's why he pardoned him. What?
That's exactly why Biden got pardoned, because he broke all sorts of fair violations, just like Paul Manafort did. That's another reason Paul Manafort went to prison, because of fair violations. Name the Democrat. Tell me the name of any Democrat who's ever been charged with fair violations. And we already know that Hunter Biden didn't.
Can I ask you something? Can I ask you? Let me ask you something. Okay. 2017 to 2021, Donald Trump was the president, right? It was his Department of Justice, his FBI. Right now. Oh, he was too busy. You're telling me he. Hold on. No. You're not getting away with that. You're not going to keep changing the question. So Donald Trump was too busy to let his Department of Justice do the work of indicting all these guilty Democrats. That's your fucking. That's the hill you're going to die on.
And you think it would have helped his presidency to throw Hillary Clinton, a woman, into prison?
Listen to me.
Made him more popular?
Listen to me.
Think that would have made him more popular?
His fucking rallies were filled with tens of thousands of maniacs saying, lock her up. Yes, it would have made him more popular, you stupid ass. Why can't you just fucking be honest and say that they didn't get prosecuted because they didn't do shit wrong?
Because Donald Trump actually has principles. He follows his
principles
instead of his electorate.
Hold on. No. Hold on. You're not gonna wait. We're gonna go one thing at a time. Hold on. Let me read you something. Since he has principles and he doesn't just go after his enemies, like you just said. Hold on. This is gonna take me a second to find. Be patient with me now.
Take your time, buddy. It's your show.
Okay. I'm going to show you something. Since you said he has principles, he wouldn't do stuff like that. So this is his Truth Social post from, let me see the exact date. September 21st, 2025. Okay. This is what he said. Hey, he wrote, Pam, I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially same old story as last time, all talk, no action. Nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. And about 3 days later, they all got indicted. That was him demanding that his attorney general prosecute these people. Guys, please like and subscribe, please. So why didn't he tell me again?
Are you aware that Donald Trump has had gay weddings at Mar-a-Lago? That's an example of how he follows his own principles and doesn't always go with what his electors want. A lot of people didn't like that.
Do you see how I just proved you wrong and then you changed the subject completely? And by the way, he makes millions of dollars off those weddings. He doesn't do them for free. He paying customers. His favorite color is green. Are you serious? He'll let anybody get married there for the right price.
How many millions of dollars did he make when he was the first presidential candidate in history to be pro-gay marriage? Even before Obama, even before Joe Biden.
Presidential candidate?
Candidate. In other words, he ran on, yes, I'm for gay marriage, pro-gay marriage. Obama wasn't like that. Obama didn't come around on gay marriage until after his second term had already started.
Okay, I'm going to look it up.
Yeah.
How does he feel about gay marriage now, though? Because back then he was a Democrat. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So...
It's usually when people get rid of their they go from Democrat to Republican.
He was a Democrat, you dipshit. It was a Democrat.
Thurman.
It's usually when people get rid of their what?
When they get rid of their prejudice and their hatred and all that stuff, they drop the Democratic Party and move to the Republican. That's what I've noticed. I used to be a Democrat. I was raised by liberal Democrats. I was a Democrat.
Wait, I'm sorry. I missed what you said. I'm looking something up. What about they get rid of their racist tendencies, you said?
Yeah, and I got examples of that. Strom Thurmond, Robert Byrd. Robert Byrd was a member of the KKK, yet Joe Biden showed up at his funeral and gave a long eulogy for a KKK member.
Okay.
So
you're saying the Democrats today are racist?
Yeah, they're racist for sure, but in a different way. There's all sorts of different types of racism.
Okay.
But yeah, do you know what the...
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
What party wants those Confederate statues to stand?
I don't know, because...
How
would you know? Like, let's say, take January 6th, there were those stupid Confederate flags everywhere.
No.
How do you know that?
Those were MAGA people with those Confederate flags. Those were MAGA people.
I think they're false flags, honestly.
They were MAGA people.
Well, here...
So you just proved my point. You just proved my point.
Confederate flag flying around, and I live in Oklahoma.
You're full of shit. You're full of shit,
I
bro.
saw him in the 80s when the Dukes of Hazzard was on TV.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one in 10 or 15 years.
I'm sure you haven't. I could probably Google Earth Oklahoma, any street in Oklahoma, and find 10 rebel flags. So which party wants those Confederate statues? Wait, which family, or which party? Now you got me all fucking confused. Which party wants those symbols of slavery torn down?
Well, I'm a Republican and I want them torn down.
No. Which party?
I don't know. I've never heard a party with their platform.
Which party marched in Charlottesville and said Jews will not replace us?
Was that Antifa dressed up like Trump supporters?
See what I mean? This is why I don't respect you guys. You won't admit anything. You're telling me that was Antifa dressed up as racist white kids.
No, I'm saying that's possible. Chris, do you know what the low...
No. You're not going to keep changing this. We're going to stay on this. You said Democrats, when they turn Republican, they get rid of their racist tendencies. Which parties' governors have fought to keep the Confederate flag in front of the state capitol?
What's that guy's name from Alabama?
How about Nikki Haley?
She's obsolete now, isn't she?
She's what?
Obsolete. Nobody has seen her.
Years ago, as governor, she fought to keep the Confederate flag in front of the Capitol of her state.
So did the ACLU. They fought for that before too. Did you know that?
Did Nikki Haley?
Did the ACLU ever defend Nazis? They did.
I highly doubt it. But again, the question is, did Nikki Haley fight to keep the Confederate flag in front of the Capitol, her state Capitol building?
I'm going to say no.
Go look it up real quick. I'm going to wait.
Hey, I don't even care if I'm wrong on it. What's the point?
The point is, you said that Democrats are the party of racism, you dipshit.
No, today's racists are held by Democrats.
Today's racists are Democrats.
bigotry of low expectations is?
Can I ask you something? What party was endorsed by the KKK and all the white supremacist groups in the country?
Dude, there aren't any white supremacist groups in the country. That's just a big. It's like what you think about women's sports losing medals. It's a non-issue. Nobody's out there doing that. I mean, seriously.
What about
There's
people?
like 5 racists left in the country, and they're getting ready to die.
5 racists left in the country. How about people like Dylan Roof that shot up a black church just because it was black people?
You have one there. That guy was
Yeah, of course I
sure.
do. Yeah, and I could name a million more. How about the fact?
for every Dylan Roof.
How about the fact that the
there's how many-
Republicans are calling Mom Donnie a terrorist simply because he's Muslim?
Do you know what?
Which party was calling Obama and his children monkeys? Democrats?
Look, do you know what the soft bigotry
Will
is?
you
Low
concede?
expectations.
Will you concede that the Republican Party is the party of racism today?
Chris, I can prove to you that the Democrats are the racists today.
Will you concede that Republicans are?
No, because me and all my friends are Republicans, and I have a ton of liberal Democrat friends, and all of them are the ones that use the N-word and say racist things all the time. None of my Republican friends ever use the N-word.
Your white
I have
liberal
my
friends
liberal
use the
all
N-word.
damn time.
Your white
I
liberal
have my
friends.
liberal friends all the time.
White liberal friends.
Yes, white liberal friends that couldn't eat. They're just as far to the left, further than you are.
And they use the N-word.
You've said some sensible things, like yesterday when you were talking about
No.
a man wearing
Your
a red
white
stripe
liberal
uniform.
friends.
You're not going to try to call him ma'am. I was right with you on that.
Yeah, but bro, the last thing I want is you agreeing with me. But listen, I don't even remember where we were. You're gonna say, tell me how the Democrats are the party of racism.
Thank you. Have you heard of the low?
Yeah, no shit. Now tell me how. I know what liberals do. I know what liberals do. But how are they the party of racism? What party passes legislation to help minorities?
The Republicans.
Which ones? Which pieces of
All
legislation?
of them.
All of them are to help minorities.
What is the soft bigotry of low expectations? You know what that is?
When the Republicans cut Medicaid and they refused to fund food stamps, and when Donald Trump gave 500 billion or 500 million to HBCUs, but Joe Biden gave 17 billion and Obama gave 4 billion. Stuff like this.
Don't you realize these numbers games are ridiculous? I could throw numbers at you all day too.
They're ridiculous because they don't work in your favor, bro. You're getting eaten alive right now.
I'm trying to tell you why the Democrats are more racist.
Okay.
Are racist.
Okay.
Okay. It's called the low.
I know all about it. I know what you're going to say. Liberals, they treat black people special because they're black. I'm fully aware.
It's hard to get a driver's license just because you're black. If you think that it's hard for someone to go out and get a driver's license because they're black, that makes you a racist. That's soft bigotry is what that is.
Let me read you the stats. Because I know what you're getting at. I'm going to read you the numbers. Because what he's talking about, guys, is that the Republicans have been trying to put voter ID, trying to make it federal law, voter ID for years. And the reason is because it's minorities. There's a higher percentage of minorities that don't have a government issued ID or a driver license than there is white people. Okay.
Bullshit. That is
Does
so
voter
bullshit.
ID laws disproportionately affect minorities?
Do you have to have an ID to get food stamps?
Yes.
Okay. But
Do voter ID
for
laws-
voting is just a bridge too far.
Hold on, bro. I'm trying to speak to my phone. You keep fucking talking. Do voter ID laws disproportionately? Why won't it work? Do voter ID laws disproportionately affect minorities? Yes. A substantial body of evidence and research indicates that voter ID laws disproportionately affect racial and ethnic minorities, as well as other groups such as low-income voters, students, and older adults. Lower ID possession rates. Studies consistently find that minorities are less likely than white citizens to have the specific types of government-issued photo identification required by strict voter ID laws. For example, One 2014 study found that approximately 25% of eligible voters in minority groups lacked the necessary ID compared to lower percentages among the general population. Barriers to obtaining ID.
You actually believe what you're reading.
Yes, the process of obtaining
Common sense be damned.
the process of obtaining required identification can be costly and difficult. Minorities are more likely to face socioeconomic barriers such as lack of time off work, inability to afford fees for underlying documents like birth certificates, and lack of transportation to government offices.
So it's a matter of their being poor. So are there more poor white people in America or poor black people?
Again, I'll tell you the numbers. The numbers, it's like,
So you're not making
hold
sense.
on.
You know it.
For the white population that is voting age in this country, it's a little over 3% of white people that don't have a driver's license or a government issued voter ID. For black
Most
people,
most
for
minorities
black
live in
people,
cities
it's
where
6.
easier to
For
get.
black people, it's
Most
6.
minorities
For
live in
black people, Jesus Christ, he's fucking obnoxious. I'm going to throw the phone out the window. Holy shit. For black people, it's 6.6%. My God, you guys, you MAGA motherfuckers are the rudest motherfuckers on the planet. I swear to God, you have no fucking people skills. You don't know how to communicate. You're rude. You're arrogant. You're ignorant. For the love of Christ, holy shit. My God. If he was in front of my face, I would have put his fucking head through a wall. I swear to God. Guys, please hit the like button and subscribe. All right. Rage quitted. Sure. It's not that he's talking over me the entire time we're on the phone. You guys can bring up any point and I'll debate it with you. And anybody can call 941 or 410-941-9850. Let's do it. Just block the guy that keeps putting the N-word in the chat. I'm sure that, Kevin Spencer, he's a MAGA guy. Yeah, he's always in here arguing MAGA shit. What a surprise, right? Yeah, I'll just block him. I don't know if anybody got to it yet. You simp Democrats can't make a valid point. Oh, except for all the valid points I just made. You realize, did you see through that entire debate, every time I proved him wrong, he just moved on to something different? That's what you guys do. You can't argue. You don't know any fucking thing. You don't know anything. You don't. You're dumb. Now call me and let's find out. Anybody who thinks they're smarter than me, 410-941-9850. And please hit the like button, guys. I'd appreciate it very much. Why are you drinking vodka from a water bottle? So you see this and you say that must be vodka, even though I'm 6.5 years clean and sober. And I do addiction and recovery shows on this channel to help other people with alcoholism and drug addiction. Is there a chance, just out of curiosity, because that's how you guys see things. You don't see things for what they are. You see things for what you want them to be. So you see this and it never occurs to you. That's probably a bottle of water. No, it's got to be vodka. This is why you guys are infuriating. Chris, make me a mod. Get that Kevin guy. I think I did. I did, right? Oh, I'll make. Wait, who are you? Wait. Hold on. Tia Fireball. Give me a little time. I'll make you a mod eventually. I promise. Democrats are always for giveaways. How about giveaway IDs for the poor? Democrats want the issue, not the solution. Mike, you mean like how you guys are still waiting on a $5,000 check from Doge and a $2,000 check from tariffs? Giveaways like that? You mean giveaways like that go to corporate welfare constantly? Giveaways like that? You mean that type of stuff? Corporate subsidies, bank bailouts, shit like that the Republicans do on a constant basis. The Republicans give just as many handouts, except they give them to the wrong people. That's the bottom line. You cannot talk to MAGAs. They got problems, serious problems. Look at Trump. The reason he keeps talking, they all do this, is because they're getting beaten down with facts. You're telling the truth about the horse shit they're spewing. So they just keep talking over you. It is the most aggravating thing in the world. This community that I named MobTube before I started doing politics on here, a community about mafia history. I used to have panels with a bunch of different guys. A lot of them were mob guys that were in witness protection, stuff like that. Okay. I stopped that after maybe 3 or 4 months. You know why? That's why. Everybody talking all over each other. Maybe there's something wrong in my brain, but it makes me want to fucking kill somebody when people are just being unbelievably rude to each other, and especially to me. So I used to actually leave those shows and go lay on my couch and watch TV and let the whole panel talk because I couldn't be part of it. I can't stand that. And every call, and this guy's called me probably 6 times now. We've had these debates. Every call I tell him, if you talk over me, I'm going to block you. And then he proceeds to talk over me. Who said that? Richard Muirhead. Keep this clown away from your children. This MAGA piece of shit blames the children. I don't even know what you're talking about, but I don't know what you're talking about. There's more. There's your proof of Republicans, John and Kevin, are just some of your Republican representatives. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. The guy's putting the N-word in the chat. Yeah. It is the most ridiculous thing in the world. Oh, yeah. Even though when you look it up, Louis Villa, and by the way, your name is Louis Villa and you're a Trump supporter. Okay. I know Luis Villa. Yeah. So I know everything I need to know about you. You're not bright. First of all. Secondly, if you look up the ratios of right-wing violence versus left-wing, you'd be astounded at the overwhelming violence on the right versus on the left. And of course, you know this, but you just say that anyway because it makes you feel better. You're already confused, as I can see. So if you're going to have to be violated at the booth, if you're going to vote, you have to be violated at the booth. Okay. Good, Jennifer 4x4. Thank you. One person asked if it was vodka and you act like that. Act like what? As a guy who's 6.5 years clean and sober, for somebody to ask me if it's vodka, how did I act? I said, you think this is vodka because you're basically you guys see things for what you want them to be. And when facts get in your way, it pisses you off. Just like this guy, he brought up John Edwards. This is probably the 5th time he's done it. So finally I looked it up. As soon as I got the facts as to why John Edwards was not prosecuted the same way Trump was, he got pissed off and he moved to something else. That's what you guys do. I prove you wrong and you move on to something else. You don't know any stats. You don't know anything. You don't have numbers the proven numbers when it comes to any kind of a statistic or fucking anything. You don't know facts about 90% of the shit you claim about both parties, about Donald Trump, about Joe Biden. You make stuff up as you go. You watch all kinds of pedophile-like behavior from Donald Trump. You think nothing of it, but then you go back to Ashley Biden's diary and insist that because she said he showered with his daughter, he's a full-blown pedophile. And by the way, she said she was a child. She was probably a fucking baby, okay? Stuff like that. Like, you guys see what you want. You ignore what isn't convenient to you, and whatever you want to see, you'll turn it into that. So it's just like Donald Trump. When Donald Trump said things like, I love the poorly educated, and what was the thing I said earlier? I forget specifically, but Donald Trump was being dead serious. That thing I mentioned earlier, whatever that was, he was being dead serious when he said it. And they say he was joking. Can't remember what it was. Does anybody remember what it was? I don't know, but I remember thinking about it earlier when I said it. He was being dead serious. I could picture him when he said it. And you guys say it's a joke because it has to be a joke to you. You know what I mean? It has to be a joke to you. If you had to actually face the fact and acknowledge that your leader calls you stupid on a regular basis, how could you do it? It would drive you crazy. So instead, you just say he was joking. He stood in front of a North Carolina rally, and without even a smirk on his face, he said, I don't care about you guys. I just want your vote. You said he was joking. When he said about we won with the poorly educated, I love the poorly educated, you said he was joking. When he said maybe we should use disinfectant to cure the, you said he was joking, even though he was clearly being serious. He thought he had an answer. He was all proud of himself. And then even when he disappeared for 3 days after making that statement, came back, did a press conference, and never once said he was joking about it, you guys say he was joking. When he says retarded shit, you guys say he was joking. Meanwhile, people who are unbiased and are watching the man speak can clearly tell he's being 100% honest. Yes, that's true. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. You just made that up. You just made it up. That's what you guys do. You make shit up as you go. Give me the source for that. That Hunter had Joe Biden in his phone as Pedo Pete. You guys will throw out all kinds of bullshit that you hear on social media and shit like that, but you won't acknowledge anything that is backed up by facts and evidence. You won't. When you talk about Trump supporters, oh shit, you're describing yourself, but you lack any self-awareness. How do you figure, Wishmaker? Tell me how. You just did with Biden. You assume his daughter was an infant, you hypocritical ass. You know why, Adam? Because she said in her diary, I was a child, okay? And she said they were probably not appropriate. She didn't even say they were inappropriate. In other words, looking back at it as an adult, that's the way she saw it, okay? Now, she also said under oath in a court of law, my words from that diary were grossly misinterpreted and taken out of context. She said she loves her father. He never did anything to hurt her. She introduced him at the DNC not that long ago, and she's with him all the time. So, yeah, my automatic conclusion would be that he never did anything to hurt her. Okay? Of course. I look at things as they are. I don't look at things through any skewed lens. You guys look at Donald Trump through rose-colored glasses, and it's insane. You guys really ain't bothering me with the N-word shit. I'll just keep blocking you. It's no big deal, honestly. Trump hates his voters a lot. Trump hates his voters a lot. Of course he does. We drink bleach every day and don't die from it. Is that right? Yeah, that's not true. Of course. So you're saying it's okay. Like Trump was right. You should have just shot the disinfectant. Gotcha. California receives the most SNAP benefits. Google it. Yeah. California has the most people of any state in the entire country, 40 million people. Now, I'll tell you what you can Google, bud. Google, do red states get a disproportionate amount of SNAP funding? In other words, based on their population and the size of their states and all that, do they get a disproportionate amount of SNAP funding? Then look up Owsley County, Kentucky. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's Owsley. 99.22% white, 95% Democrat. They have a higher use of SNAP funding than any county in all of America. So go check it out. I know they do. We do sometimes when we think you are gullible enough. Trump trolls you all the time. He's not trolling me. He's trolling you, if he's even trolling you, but he's not. Guys, I could show you the videos of him saying these things. You show me how it's a joke. Everybody knows, mercenary. He hates you fucking people. Donald Trump has made a fortune walking all over people like you. Construction workers, union people, contractors of all kinds, small businessmen. It's literally documented in a zillion different lawsuits. He hates you fucking people with a passion. Howard Stern said it best. The people that love him the most, he despises the most. He would never shake one of your hands in public unless it was a photo op. He's disgusted by you. He hates poor people. He thinks you're a joke. 410-941-9850. Democrats are racist and stupid. Black Friday is named this because one day when businesses would go from being a red. Donald Trump hates this Friday because it's black. I didn't realize I had that up there. I totally forgot. And I defend what? What do I defend? No, I voted Democrat as a matter of fact, but I might be wrong. If we go back and look, you'll see a lot of stuff like attempted killings of Trump, death of Charlie Kirk. It's all messed up. I'm learning. I don't know what you're speaking of. Attempted killings of Trump. I mean, I guess you could say there was two, maybe two, really only one. And the death of Charlie Kirk. I don't know. I don't know what you're getting at. 410-941-9850. You got nothing to back up what you were saying. I check what you said, and there's nothing to prove what you saying is true. Just all lies. Wow. Yeah, you're MAGA for sure, man. Christ almighty. What's your level of education again? You don't have to look up the stuff I say. I'll look it up for you. When the fuck will MAGA stop blaming Biden for everything? It's all on Trump now. Never. Anything good he does, they'll give him credit for it. Anything bad he does, they'll put it on Biden somehow. Protecting our borders is such a bad thing? No. Nope. Didn't say it was. Dude, you are gaslit. Me. Can you guys do me a favor? Somebody call in and tell me what it is exactly that I've been fooled about. What it is that that I believe that's complete nonsense. Because every time somebody does that, I eat you alive. You realize that, right? Like literally every fucking time. Yeah, you're right. We do have TDS, tremendous dick syndrome. Oh yeah, Brad. Seems like the Russian bots are out today. They are. In 1994 and 2012, they voted against Violence Against Women Act, which helps victims of domestic violence and rape and educates law enforcement. Of course. Of course. I hate you because your caption reminds everyone passing by that anyone you've ever loved cucks you. I hate you because your caption reminds everyone passing by that anyone you've ever loved cucks you. Because my caption says Donald Trump hates this Friday because it's black. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Who do I defend? That's a child molester. Actually, Jeff Henson, you realize it's you, right, that defends a child. You are the guy defending the dude that's covering up the Epstein files. You are the guy defending the dude that is named 1,686 times in 30,000 Jeffrey Epstein emails, some of which say things like Trump knew all about the girls. And Trump was at my house alone with the victim, Virginia Dufresne, for hours. The guy who looked at a 10-year-old and said, I'll be dating her in 10 years. Like, that's what you call no self-awareness. That's what you call no self-awareness. The dude says, I'm defending a pedo while he's defending a pedo.
Eric.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Yeah.
She's live on YouTube?
Yep. So he hung up. All right. Well, I guess he changed his mind. Oh, yeah. They don't realize it. They don't. You cry about a lot of things. What about the millions of dollars Democrats made from insider trading? You talking about Nancy Pelosi? Well, how about this? And Nancy Pelosi's a asshole. What do you mean? I don't defend her. Now, but you can't, if you're going to mention insider trading, you have to be against, if you're against it, you're against it. You're not just against Democrats doing it. Okay. That doesn't work. If you're against something, you're against it no matter who does it. So Donald Trump crashed the economy deliberately on a couple of different occasions since he started his second term. When he did that, and Scott Bessent came out and said, I knew exactly what he was going to do. He told us, like, in other words, Trump told them, I'm going to implement the tariffs for a day, and then I'm going to take them off. He told all his friends to buy. He stood in the Oval Office and said, now is a great time to buy. He was signaling to his friends. So Marjorie Taylor Greene made $25 million off of the inside knowledge because regular people didn't know. The public did not know he was going to take the tariffs off the next day. Barron and his friends made $150 million off of that. Donald Trump stood in the Oval Office with a bunch of hedge fund executives and billionaires and said he made 10 billion, he made 20 billion. He was bragging about the people that made money off of his insider trading scheme. So what about that? Just out of curiosity. Phone number false. You just called, Derek. I answered. You said, am I live on YouTube? I said, yes. Everybody heard it. And then they know I didn't hang up on you because I was moving the microphone and you hung up. Don't take the answer from Google. Find whatever source you like, but any source that doesn't tell you what you want, you'll just say it's fake or it's biased as hell. You know what I mean? Now, if I look up something on Google that is good for Donald Trump, if they give me an answer that you want to hear, is Google still bullshit? Like, for example, watch this. Was Donald Trump ever on Epstein Island? There is no documented or public record that Donald Trump ever visited Jeffrey Epstein's private island. And I bet you believe that, right? I bet you have no problem with that answer. But if I Google it and it says Bill Clinton was never on Epstein's island, Google's full of shit and it's biased, right? I know how you guys work. I know. Republican states are paid for by Dem states, without a doubt. They heard it from the dude who said his sister's friend works in the FBI. I'm not sure what you're speaking of. Guys, please hit the like and subscribe. It's very, very important. I was on the phone part of the show, so I didn't get to tell you guys that too much. So please, if you agree with me, hit the like button and subscribe. And please do it now so you don't forget. 410-941-9850. I loudly pleaded with Defendant Trump to stop, but he did not. Defendant Trump responded to my pleas by violently striking me in the face with his open hand and screaming that he would do whatever he wanted to me. Yeah, whatever he wanted. Immediately following this rape, Defendant Trump threatened me that were I ever to reveal any of the details of Defendant Trump's sexual and physical abuse of me, my family, and I would be... I don't know where the rest of it is. Probably typing it. Yeah, that's Katie Johnson's testimony under oath. Yeah. No, they didn't. Dark Matters. No, they didn't. Will you believe this answer? Probably not. You believe the last one, but you won't believe this one, right? Was Bill Clinton ever on Epstein's island? Bill Clinton's representatives have consistently and emphatically denied he ever visited Jeffrey Epstein's private island. The denial is supported by emails from Epstein himself, who wrote Clinton was never, ever there, never, in a message to a reporter in 2015. Oh, my God. And by the way, flight logs show Clinton traveled on Epstein's private plane known as the Lolita Express on multiple occasions in the early 2000s, primarily for humanitarian trips in connection with the Clinton Foundation to locations such as Africa and Asia. None of the flight records indicate a trip to a private island. Secret Service records, a Freedom of Information Act request to the U.S. Secret Service, found no evidence that Clinton ever visited Epstein's island. And you could also find out that that every single trip on Epstein's plane, it was documented that the Secret Service was on every leg of every trip. Okay. So let me guess, that answer don't matter, but the one before that, you like that one, right? That was Google telling the truth. This is Google lying, right? You guys are so full of shit. So full of shit. Does not matter. He's not the president. Well, they don't want to talk about Trump because they can't defend him. That's why everything is whataboutism. Bill Clinton, Joe Biden, Obama. You know, the next show I do, and I'm going to do it hopefully at some point today, I'm going to do a show where it says defend Trump without mentioning Biden. I did it once before. They couldn't do it. Let me see. So you are calling Virginia Giuffre a liar? Yes, I'm calling her a liar. Yep, just like you call Katie Johnson a liar. Katie Johnson said she was raped by Donald Trump. Would you call her a liar? I believe Virginia Giuffre lied for self-preservation, to protect herself. Yes, you animals that will kill for this piece of shit fucking president were terrorizing Katie Johnson, threatening her by phone, going to her house, threatening to kill her and her whole family. And Virginia Giuffre knew that she would deal with the same thing, in my opinion. So she said, okay, I'll talk about the dead guy who can't do me any harm, but I'm not talking about the president because of these lunatics that follow him. And plus, he's the most powerful man in the world. I believe Virginia Giuffre lied. And you know one of the reasons? One of those emails simply said, and it was between Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, Donald Trump was at my house for hours alone with Virginia Giuffre. Now, Donald Trump being a known pervert and sick fuck who has had several women testify that before he either raped or had sex with them, he said, "You remind me of my daughter." Okay. That perverted motherfucker spent hours alone at the most prolific pedophile in history's house and didn't do nothing with it, right? They were just playing board games and shit. Yeah. Yeah. Hello?
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send a
Hello? Hello? Hello?
This guy on the live stream?
Yep.
Alrighty. So, I would like to get on the live stream with you.
You're on here, Bill.
Alrighty. There we go.
All right, so what do you want to
Right
talk
on.
about?
So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that the left and the right are all wrong about.
Okay. I agree with you on that.
But my thing is there is a Trump said, "Yeah, let the files out." Then the next thing you know, the whole Hunter Biden laptop that disappeared, and
Hold on, wait a minute. Who said let the files out?
Trump did.
When did he
said
do
it
that?
multiple times.
Okay. Did he cover it up at all the files?
He can't.
Did he
The
tell
only people that can cover it up is Congress.
Did he-
Congress is the ones that are scared to let it out because Democrats, they're the ones that ran it forever.
Okay. So let me ask you something. So the beginning of
And
this
the
whole
Democrats
thing.
are the ones that
Hold
ran
on,
it
bro,
before
listen, don't talk over
Trump
me.
was in
Don't talk
office.
over me. Listen to me. Okay. So the thing that started this whole thing that got to where, you know, that the bill landed on Trump's desk and he signed it. It started
Listen to the man talk.
It started in June. Okay. Democrats, well, a
Listen to
Republican.
the man talk.
What are you doing? Okay. Why does he sound like he's on half speed? So anyway, Democrats, a Republican named Thomas Massey, authored a bill basically to release the Epstein files. It was a discharge petition, really, to release the Epstein files. Okay. Donald Trump said any Republican who signs this bill, he's considering it an act of hostility to sign this bill to release the Epstein files. Okay. You can look all this up. That discharge petition needed 218 signatures. 4 Republicans signed it. 214 Democrats signed it. Okay. Then it went to the House, where they made it clear, the Republicans, they're not going to be on record voting against releasing the Epstein files. So they let Trump know, we're going to fucking release them. or we're gonna vote to release him. Period. So Donald Trump knows. Okay, either now I am seen as the only guy impeding the release of the files, or I just go along with it and then I figure it out later. So he said, yeah, release the files. Then it went to Senate. The Senate made it clear they're going to vote to release the files. So when it went to his desk, he had no choice. He had no choice. This is after months of him and Mike Johnson covering up the release covering up the Epstein files, delaying the release as much as they could. Now, in February, going back a little bit, Pam Bondi said the Epstein list is on my desk and I got to go through the files. Okay. In May, it was widely reported by every publication, including right-leaning publications like the Wall Street Journal, that Pam Bondi sat Donald Trump down and said, your name is in the Epstein files numerous times. A month later, after Donald Trump running on releasing the files and J.D. Vance talking about releasing the files and Pam Bondi saying the list is on my desk, they came out in June and said, there is no list. And for about 5 minutes, you MAGA people woke up and got pissed off at him. But then, like a battered wife, you always go back, So you went back to him. And now you're going to try to make it seem like Donald Trump wanted the release of the files. Because in August, when the Democrats tried to force a vote on releasing the Epstein files in the House, Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, shut down the House and sent everybody home. I believe they came back for a short period of time. Democrats tried to force the vote again. Mike Johnson shut the House down and didn't open it up till a couple of weeks ago? He had no choice at that point. He kept it shut down because Adelita Grijalva, who was elected in Arizona to the House, she would have been the 218th signature. They only had 217. 3 Republicans. Was it 3? No. 4 Republicans, 213 Democrats. Okay. So finally, he had no choice. The media was on him. Why aren't you swearing in Adelita Grijalva? It doesn't make any sense. There's no excuse for this. He kept coming up with lies. Finally, he had to swear her in. And that's what took us to this point now. That's what brought us to this point now. Now, right after this happened, Pam Bondi came out and said, I'm opening an investigation on Bill Clinton and Larry Summers and whoever else. Now, let me tell you why she did that. Because if there's an open investigation, they can't release the Epstein files regardless of what happened in Congress. Okay? So she's got 30 days to release them. Now, when that 30 days comes, she's either going to say, I can't because of these open investigations, which are all horseshit, by the way, or they're going to release a small fraction of them, and Donald Trump's name will be redacted thoroughly because after Pam Bondi told him he was on the list, and this was also reported by every outlet, including right wing, they got 1,000 FBI agents to start redacting Trump's name from the files. So you'll see when 30 days is up what happens. You should leave this country if you hate the president so much. Did you leave the country when Biden was in office or Obama? You see how stupid you are? You see why you guys have no self-awareness? Because you saying that to me, I can throw it right back at you. And by the way, fuckface, I don't know if you know what America is all about and what it's built on, but freedom of speech is literally put in place specifically so people can speak out against the government. They have every right to. Doesn't mean they hate their country. And guess what? Here's the best part. Even if they hate their country, they don't have to leave. They don't have to leave. And nobody hates America more than MAGA. You guys hate everything it was built on. The Constitution, immigration, everything. Everything. You guys hate it. Nobody, no MAGA person ever gets up and speaks positively about America. When you listen to Fox News or Donald Trump, all it is negative bullshit. Negative bullshit about how bad our country is. By the way, earlier I got a $12.70 donation from somebody I call Mrs. Anonymous. Thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate you. If anybody would like to send a super chat, by the way, go ahead, but please hit the like and subscribe. While you shame an SA victim, you're truly a horrible person. You are what you hate. You lack any self-awareness. I didn't shame her. I don't believe her. And I don't believe her simply because I think she lied out of self-preservation to keep herself safe. That's not shaming. Shaming is talking about E. Jean Carroll like she was too unattractive to, do what Donald Trump did to her, or saying that because she doesn't remember the exact date, she's just a fucking, she's either lying or, in whatever you use to say about her, somehow she's full of shit. She's a complete and total liar. When you guys say Katie Johnson was lying, is that you shaming her? See, it's fine when you guys don't believe one of his victims. But when I don't believe somebody who says they weren't a victim, I'm wrong and you're not. Tara Reid, a former Senate aide, has accused Joe Biden of sexual assault that allegedly occurred in 1993 when she worked in his Senate office. Going to tell me that never happened? Watch this. You ready for this? You guys should never challenge me, man. You guys should never challenge me. All right, don't spell check me, motherfucker, and put a different word in there than what I typed. Tara Reid is a writer and former U.S. Senate staff assistant known for publicly accusing Joe Biden of sexual assault in 2020 when he was the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee. Biden has unequivocally denied the allegation. Reid worked in Biden's Senate office from December 1992 to August 1993. In 2019, she was one of several women who accused him of inappropriate physical contact that made them feel uncomfortable. In March 2020, she escalated her claim to an accusation of sexual assault, stating Biden had forced her against the wall and penetrated her with his fingers in a Capitol Hill corridor in 1993. There's contemporaneous accounts, documentation. Reid said she filed a complaint with the Senate Human Resources Office at the time, but no record of a sexual assault complaint has been found. In her 1993 complaint, she alleged demeaning comments, but did not mention sexual misconduct or assault. So she changed her story in 2020. A 1996 court document from her divorce proceedings does record her ex-husband mentioning she had complained of sexual harassment in Biden's office. Now listen, Reid's credibility has been challenged by various sources, including reports that she misrepresented her educational credentials under oath and in legal cases, and had a history of disputes with former acquaintances over financial matters. Okay? Watch this. What you're going to find out about Tara Reid is that she's schizophrenic. Okay? Just give me a second. It'll take me a second to search all this stuff. I read this the other day on the show, and I'm pretty sure you were here. And it said that she's done this numerous times. It was all proven to be bullshit with other people. And she literally has lied about her entire life story. They've proven that she lied about at least most of her life story. So she's a proven liar. Hold on. Let's go with this. Let's see. As Tara Reid was leaving her job at Joe Biden's Senate office in 1993, she told a close colleague that she believed she was being let go for an unfair reason, that she was being terminated because of a medical issue she had been dealing with. See that? The former colleague, Ben Savage, described this decades-old alleged exchange with Reid in an interview with CNN. He declined to be quoted on the specific medical condition that he said Reid shared with him around that time. The previously unreported detail of what Savage says Reid told him in 1993 is among a growing set of accounts that has emerged about Reid's experience in Biden's office almost 3 decades ago. Reid, 56, has become a prominent figure in the 2020 presidential election or presidential race after accusing Biden, the presumptive Democratic nominee of president, of sexually harassing and assaulting her when she worked in the office. The range of statements Reid, her friends and acquaintances, and former Biden aides have made, both in public and private, about Biden and Reid's experiences while working for him has complicated efforts to understand her most serious allegation of sexual assault. Biden himself has vehemently denied Reid's allegations, and no ex-Biden staffer has come forward to say they ever witnessed or heard about any kind of sexual misconduct in his Senate office. Doug Wigdor, Reid's attorney, said as part of a lengthy email addressing questions from CNN that some in the media have given Biden a complete pass while subjecting Reid to hypocrisy and double standard. By her own admission, Reid did not widely share the sexual assault allegation against Biden around the time that she says it happened, making contemporaneous corroboration difficult to come by. Over the last year, Reid has altered her public telling of how Biden behaved with her in 1993 over the last year, as has one of her close friends who has been a corroborator of Reid's assault in the allegation. Wow, that person's story changed too. In years past, Reid described reasons for leaving Washington that were unrelated to Biden. She now says she left after being fired for Biden's office as retaliation for reporting sexual harassment. She has also previously described Biden as having been a good boss, sometimes speaking with pride about having worked for him. The victims of the stories about their excuse was also not victims of discussed abuses, family or friends. All right, now let me show you. It is widely known that Reid's public allegation about Biden changed significantly since she first came forward last year. She initially said in 2019 that Biden made her feel uncomfortable by touching her neck, shoulders, and hair. This year, which was, let me see, 2020. Let me get back to that. This year, she said he also assaulted her by forcibly putting his fingers inside of her. CNN's interviews with more than 24 people from various points in Reid's life, including friends and acquaintances and former colleagues, and an examination of Reid's correspondences, writings, and court records show that her story has also varied in other ways. Motherfucker. It's giving me ads now. Hold on. So you see what you guys are learning now? Let me see. Major news outlets conducted extensive reporting into Reid's claims, interviewing numerous former Biden staffers. None of the former staff members corroborated details of the assault allegation, and some described an office environment where such an incident would have been unlikely to go unnoticed. The New York Times reported finding no pattern of sexual misconduct by Mr. Biden. Recent developments. In May 2023, Reid announced she was defecting to Russia and seeking Russian citizenship, citing safety concerns and stating she felt safe and respected in Moscow. White House officials dismissed her claims of threats as absolutely false. Now, if you look in different areas about Tara Reid, because the other day I read it, it explains again that Tara Reid has lied about many, many things in her life, many things, her education, her life story in general. She's known to be a bullshitter who makes up stories about people. She has also accused other people of sexual assault, and it was found to be completely untrue. This is why nobody takes that accusation seriously. So, 5 hours after he died. I don't know what that means. Epstein's girls were ruled to be dishonest too. So what then? Who? There's 1,000 of them. Which ones? There's literally 1,000. Which ones were found to be lying? But at least you acknowledge that this woman's a liar. If Biden did anything to a woman or a man, he should be held accountable. There must be credible proof. Oh yeah, I agree. Now, here's the thing about you guys. It's so fucking funny. I just lost my train of thought when I read that comment. And I'm probably not going to remember what I was going to say. I don't know, but I'll ask you this. Do any of these accusations at all matter to you? Accusations against Trump? Any of them? Like, do you take any of them seriously, or are they all bullshit? Brad Lang. Biden would have lied more, but he never came out of his basement. They kept him there so he couldn't go off the rails lying. Yeah, except for that whole 4 years in the White House. Yeah, he was in a basement. You see what I mean about you guys? You just repeat horseshit. You just repeat horseshit that has no basis in truth whatsoever. The weak believe Trump stopped any wars, even though they can't name any he actually stopped. He hasn't stopped any. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Jennifer 4x4. It was all right. Who pays out millions to keep accusers quiet if they are innocent? Donald Trump. Why was Biden daughter's diary squashed? It wasn't. There was a whole court case about it and everything. She testified about her diary. She said her words were grossly misinterpreted and taken out of context. And she stated that her father never did anything to hurt her in any sexual manner whatsoever. So you can look it up. Yes, accusations against Trump matter, but accusations against Biden don't. You have clearly shown that. No, not true. Biden, the woman who accused him, has lied about her entire life story. Why would she be telling the truth about this? Plus, as you heard, nobody in Biden's office when he was in Senate corroborated anything like this or said that there was an atmosphere that felt unsafe in any way, or they said it would be extremely unlikely that something like this would happen. And the only person corroborating Tara Reade's story also changed their story numerous times. So I look at stuff like that. And by the way, if Biden did it, Biden should go to fucking jail. Biden should go to prison. I don't give a fuck if you're a Democrat or Republican. If you sexually assault a woman or a child, you should fucking pay for it. And if Obama, Biden, Kamala, Clinton, if they're all ever found out to have done that stuff, I'll be doing these shows about them. Believe me. Believe me. They could die for all I care if they did shit like that. Okay? Who refused a lie detector? Who exactly? Democrats are the dumbest people on the planet. Well, we could find out, Nick Piper. You could call me at 410-941-9850. And by the way, you might want to look into that because red states that voted for Trump are the dumbest states in America. Blue states that voted for Kamala are the smartest. That's just a fact. The red states that voted for Trump are the least educated states in the entire country. And the blue states that voted for Kamala are the most educated and wealthiest, by the way, states in the entire country. Those red states are also the poorest because they keep voting for Republicans. And don't believe me on that. Look it up right now. Are the states Trump won the poorest states in the country and the least educated? Go ahead. Any accusation against the Democrat is instantly believed, and any and any against a Republican is instantly dismissed. The obvious stupidity of the right is wild. Yeah, plus, let me tell you something else about the Biden thing. Biden was accused of this, as far as I know, from what I can read, by one person. Donald Trump was accused of sexual assault 27 times, not since he started running for president, since the 1970s. We also know that he cheated on every wife. We also know that in 1999, Ivanka said in a court statement that Donald Trump violently raped her. And it was only after she got a big payout that she changed her mind about that. Then there's the Katie Johnson accusation. Then there's the simple fact that Donald Trump just happened to be friends with the most prolific pedophile in American history for 10 years, best friends. There's the videos of them together, the pictures of them together. There's Donald Trump saying that Jeffrey Epstein is a great guy and that he even likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. There's that. Then there's these emails. Okay, then there's the E. Jean Carroll case. Where there's smoke, there's fire. When you start seeing that kind of shit around Biden, all these different accusations, and he actually gets proven in a court of law to have committed this heinous act, then we'll do shows about Biden. There you go. So I prove you wrong. So now you move to something else. And Donald Trump's uncle taught Ted Kaczynski at MIT, even though the Unabomber Ted Kaczynski never even went to MIT. And Trump said him and his uncle had conversations about the Unabomber, except the Unabomber wasn't identified as the Unabomber until 12 years after Trump's uncle died. So what do you want to go back and forth? Believe me, Biden's lies are a fraction, a tiny, minuscule fraction of the insane amount of lies Trump tells on a daily basis. Oh, yeah, he certainly was. Epstein hated Trump, believed he was the one that put him on the FBI's radar. Trump banned him from all properties. This is coming from attorneys on the case. Prove me wrong. I'm curious. You're wrong. You could prove yourself wrong. Look it up. It's not true. The actual story, and a lot of people know this, most people, is that they were best friends and Epstein was buying a property, I believe somewhere in Florida. I think it was going for 35 or 40 million, something like that. So he was going to buy this property and he asked Donald Trump to come visit because he wanted his advice, Trump being a builder and all, as to where to put a swimming pool. Donald Trump then went and bought the property out from under the guy, Epstein, for 50 million or 45, whatever it was. And then sold it a year later for $95 million. So Epstein was suing Donald Trump. That's why Donald Trump asked him to resign his membership, never kicked him out. And when Donald Trump even tells the story, he doesn't say it had anything to do with pedophilia. He says he didn't know anything about any of that. He has to say that, right? So he says he stole a couple of employees from me, Virginia Giuffre being one of them. And that's why he kicked him out. So not even Trump says what you say. Epstein never believed Trump put him on the FBI's radar. Trump was never an informant in any way, shape, or form. None of these things happened. Biden went an entire year without a cabinet meeting. Did he? Let me see. Now, you tell me to Google it, but if I find an answer you don't like, you're going to tell me Google's bullshit, right? No. President Biden did not go an entire year without a cabinet meeting. While the frequency has been lower than in past administrations, he held at least one cabinet meeting in each of his presidential years. For example, there was at least one meeting in 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024, although the exact dates and numbers of meetings vary per year. President Biden held 9 full cabinet meetings over his first term, which is fewer than former presidents Obama and Trump held during their first terms. Distribution, these meetings were distributed over the years with 3 in 2021, 2 in 2022, and 3 in 2023, and 1 in 2024. So there you go. I Googled it. He stopped 8, you fucking liar. He stopped 8. I wonder what that means. Did a jury say Biden did anything wrong? Nope. Jury said Trump committed SA and charged them of 34 counts. Well, counts of falsifying business records, yeah. You know that Donald Trump said on 60 Minutes about a month ago that he doesn't know who he pardoned, which would mean that somebody pardoned somebody for him. He said he doesn't know who CZ of Binance was, and he said this 3 days after CZ was pardoned by the Trump administration. So you might not want to bring up the auto pen thing again. E. Jean Carroll accused 21 people of sexual assault, but you believe her? Well, no, I believe the jury that received all the evidence, the jury that was picked partially by Donald Trump's own lawyers and said that he was civilly liable. I believe them. Hold on, guys. E. Jean Carroll did not accuse 21 specific people of sexual assault. Rather, she mentioned that Donald Trump was one of 21 hideous men she had encountered in her life, a list she created for her book. So what do you know? She didn't accuse 21 men of sexual assault. You see what I mean, guys? When you say Democrats are stupid, everything you guys bring up, I mean, every single thing is complete and total bullshit. No. She never said in the diary. What statement would she have to change? She never said he did anything to her in the diary. She said showers that were probably not appropriate. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. No. I believe the jury, again, that was given all the evidence and jury instructions and all that shit, and sat through the entire trial and came to the conclusion that he did it, even with the fact that, you know, Donald Trump's Donald Trump's lawyers had as much of a part in picking those jurors as the prosecution did. Definitely one of his girls lied. Maxwell, her statement with Blanche has totally backfired on her, stating she didn't see Trump engaging in any criminal activities with children. Well, she also said she didn't see Jeffrey Epstein, and she's lying because she got convicted of stuff that that her and Jeffrey Epstein did to young girls, underage girls. She lost that diary and someone came up with it. Biden lied about his whole life too. So what's the difference? You act like Biden is incapable of lying. What did he lie about his life? What did he lie about? What did he lie about? Tell me. You said his whole life. What did he lie about? Tell me. I want to know. When is MAGA going to realize that Trump is running a circus and there are plenty of clowns to keep you amused? Never. They are completely brainwashed by him. They follow him blindly. Okay. What does that have to do with anything? Somebody said they refused to take a lie detector. I don't even know who they were talking about. Conservatives are allergic to facts. That's why they pretend Biden didn't do a meeting. Is actually a real criticism. Yeah, I know. College education versus not college educated lost in the last election. Yeah, so you just proved my point, right? So you're saying college educated lost in the last election, which would mean that the majority of college educated voters voted for Kamala Harris, which again proves my point. Thank you. Eric Klein, maybe you're on my side. I don't know. I think you're on my side. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure, but yeah. Because a college degree makes you smart according to retards holding a piece of paper. No. This stuff is not based on people holding degrees necessarily. It's also based on SAT scores and standardized testing of all sorts and stuff like that. You know, people's careers, all these types of things. And yeah, it doesn't, I'll be the first to say education does not give you natural intelligence. You're either born intelligent or you're not. There's some people that are just fucking retarded and they've made it pretty far in life. But you are more educated, meaning you do know more. Okay. So if a person has a college degree, they know more than a person who doesn't, you know, that's just the way it is. So they have facts. They know how to research stuff like that. This is all stuff you have to do in college. You have to research, you have to write, you know, MAGA. This is why they keep saying stuff and I keep debunking it. They keep coming up with bullshit lies and I keep debunking them in real time. They don't research. They refuse to research. refuse to research because they don't want to see the true answers. They just want to believe Fox News. Harris is not educated, no common sense either. No, it's funny that you said Harris has no common sense and you spelled it COMON, which I think would be more like come on sense, you know? Harris graduated from Howard University. She became a prosecutor, a district attorney, an attorney general in one of the largest states in all of America, then a U.S. senator, then the vice president. Yeah, she's not educated, has no common sense. Yeah. See what I mean about you guys? Yes. When you say educated, you're talking about formal education. If so, you're also uneducated. How so, Wishmaker? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? All this stuff is figured out. The most educated people. I mean, I don't understand what you're talking about. Formal education. What are you talking about? So if I'm talking about formal education, I'm uneducated. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, it scares the shit out of them because they ain't shit in life, you know, and she surpassed them 1,000,000 times over. Guys, please hit like and subscribe. It's very, very, very important. I'll take your word for it, mercenary. Yeah. And you know what? My uncle works in the White House and he said everybody there hates Donald Trump. Which one of us is telling the truth and which one is lying? It's disgusting. My daughter is flat out banned from dating dudes from Oklahoma. I don't blame you. 70% of America voted for Trump. Many blue states turned red. That argument doesn't hold any water. Sloth, 70% of America didn't vote, period. You know that, right? There's 360, I think, million people in America. Maybe, I don't know, 150 million voted or something. Okay. And now maybe more, 160, 170, something like that. Now, out of the people that voted, not even half of them voted for Trump. So you see how you're stupid and I'm not? You can look this up right now. Did Trump win half of the vote in the 2024 election? 50%. And you're going to find the answer to be no, he did not. So not only did not 70% of America vote for him, 70% of America didn't even vote. 70% of America isn't even voting age. Okay? But out of the people that did vote, not even 50% of them voted for Trump. President of the United States fought the release of his DNA in a rape case, evidence that would exonerate him if innocent. Let that sink in. Yeah, how about that? The weak pretend the formal education is magically not formal education because the dumbest cowards feel like it's true. Yeah, I agree. Same with Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, etc. I will not have her wrapped up with a MAGA man-child. I don't blame you. You should put your fucking foot down. The red states are hurting more than the blue states, and they still support him. Oh, yeah, his horrible policies are disproportionately affecting red states, not blue states. What about Harris hiding evidence that would have freed an innocent man after 18 years? Give me the specific case. Except all my information just happens to turn out to be true, Eric Cunt. Isn't that some shit? I never heard you call out Biden about his ties to Robert Byrd and his record as a senator. Biden was in favor of segregation in schools. Yes, Trump is racist, but Biden isn't. No, Biden's probably racist too. Without a doubt. I mean, any white guy in this country that age is most likely racist. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if Biden's racist. What's your point, though? That doesn't make Trump any less racist. If you say I never heard me call him out, all you got to do is ask me, do you think Biden's racist? I would say most likely, yeah. I would pretty much guarantee it, yeah. Peto's activities transcends party alliances, red, blue, president, principals, paupers, princes, paupers. All right. And by the way, there's not the overwhelming evidence of Biden's racism like Trump, but I still think he's probably racist. I proved nothing, really. Even though I proved all that stuff, I still proved nothing. You see how you're blind? How you only see what you want to see and hear what you want to hear? Every fucking stupid bullshit lie you put in this chat, I debunk, but I've proved nothing. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Trump. This guy, sorry, I kicked myself off, said Trump won all swing states, dumbass. Now, just out of curiosity, I'm just asking, what does that have to do with anything? Does that change the fact that he did not get 50% of the vote in the 2024 election? Trump won the popular BBOTE and Electoral College. Yes. Yeah. For the first time. Yes. In 2020, he lost both. And in 2016, he only won the Electoral College. He still didn't receive 50% of the vote. Live in blue state, check notes, still employed with social safety net, checks bank account, not broke. Isn't that some shit? Show the last election results. You can't look them up? Here, I'll do this. No, how's it record, or how's it evidence of his racism? What was I looking up? Oh, did Donald Trump get 50% of the vote in the 2024 election? Trump won a national popular vote.
The Free Encyclopedia. Trump won the national popular vote with a plurality of 49.8%, making him the first Republican to win the popular vote since George W. Bush in 2004.
Which is interesting because he's the only Republican since George W. Bush in 2004. What the fuck? So in other words, Bush did it too. Yeah. 49.8%. And you don't have to believe this. You don't believe anything that doesn't work out in your favor. Look it up. Look it up from anywhere. Look it up on Fox News. Ask Fox News, did Trump win 50% of the votes in 2024? And you're going to find out no. 2020, they cheated. Sure, they did. I just showed it to you. I just showed it to you. How'd that work out for you? You're splitting hairs. Oh, I am? So I've proven it. So now what are you going to say? That? Okay. Two wrongs don't make a right. That Democrat neocons are corrupt does not make the Republicans honest. As Assange on Wikipedia demonstrated, Trump is the product of their Pied Piper strategy. There you go. You get your facts from sources that were court ordered to pay Trump millions for lying about him. We will ignore this again. Which sources were court ordered to pay Trump millions? Can you name me any? And you know that Fox News was ordered to pay Dominion Voting Systems $787 million for lying about the 2020 election, and Tucker Carlson got fired for it, right? Yeah, so tell me again, which sources were court ordered to pay Trump millions? I'll wait. So did Trump win the popular vote, electoral vote, all swing states? Yes. And I never said he didn't, Bud Russell. You're moving the goalpost. Somebody said, and it might have been you, that he won 70% of America voted for him, which you have to be a stunad of epic proportion because 70% of the fucking country didn't even vote. So I said he didn't even win 50%. You said I was wrong. Now I proved it to you. So now you say, so did Trump win the popular vote, electoral vote in all swing states? See? And by the way, guys, I want to let you know something. Joe Biden kicked the shit out of Trump compared to what Trump did to Kamala. Joe Biden beat Trump by 7 million votes. Donald Trump beat Kamala by 2 million. So how you like me now? Yes, exactly. Same states where are the intelligent MAGA voters. I know one in person, and after talking, he registered as a Dem because he agrees MAGA doesn't represent him. There you go. But it's still more than blue guy. But it's not 50%, right? Because you're just changing the argument now. Of course it's more than blue guy, you fucking asshole. He's the president. Who said it? It's not. You see, I got to move the goalpost. Oh shit, he proved me wrong. So let me try to make a point this way. It was never in question whether he got more than by blue. I guess you mean Kamala. Never in question. Trump derangement syndrome on display. Never heard you debunk anything. I just did, like literally within the last 2 minutes. You have your opinion. You can lie, okay, but don't claim them as facts. Dems lie like no other. Nope, I just gave you facts. I've been giving you facts this entire show. Just because you don't want to acknowledge them to be facts doesn't make them any less facts. New York is doing so well that it's third in GOP or GDP behind Texas and California. Texas will surpass California by 2040 in GDP. Texas is a red state. I'll check that out to see if that's true. But your argument is that California is doing so poorly that it'll take Texas 15 years to surpass them in GDP. Witchmaker. Do you think before you speak? Do you think, honestly, tell me the truth, do you think before you speak? By 24, he acts like it's, next month. By 2040. So in other words, after all this time, it'll only take 15 more years for Texas to catch up. Meanwhile, California supporting Texas because California pays in 85 billion more than they take out, and Texas takes out 75 million more than they put in. So isn't that some shit? List the sources. To what? To what exactly? If you're talking about the election results, guys, you could just look up the election results anywhere, right? They're not going to change based on source. Google can't lie about the election results. Wikipedia can't lie about it. CNN can't. Not even Fox News can lie about the election results. They can. Fox News actually did lie about the 2020 election results, but that's Fox News. CNN for 18 million. CNN was court ordered to pay him 18 million, or was it a settlement? You could be right. Let me see. Was CNN court ordered to pay Trump $18 million? No. And I haven't debunked anything, right? No, a court did not order CNN to pay Trump $18 million. A federal judge dismissed Trump's defamation lawsuit against CNN in July 2023, and a federal appeals court upheld that dismissal in November 2025. Trump had sought $475 million in damages, alleging CNN defamed him by using the phrase "the big lie" to describe his 2020 election claims. The appeals court agreed with the lower court that I don't know what that means. Lower court that opinions, even if objectable, are not defamation unless they contain false factual claims. So, what do you know? Now, tell me another source that was forced court ordered to pay Donald Trump a settlement. Go ahead, tell me. Or a judgment. What does 50% have to do with anything? The previous person was telling you to pull up the political map. No, they weren't. They said 70% of America voted for Trump. This is just you moving the goalpost. Let me ask you, did 70% of America vote for Trump? After you answer that, did 50% of America vote for Trump? It's hilarious watching you debunk every claim conservatives make, and their only response is to cry, nuh-uh. Yeah, exactly, nuh-uh. They don't like the answer. Fox News also avoided a lawsuit by claiming in court they are a parody station, and no one in their right mind should believe anything they say. 100% true. Yeah, and why did they settle out of court? They settled out of court because Trump literally threatened to take their broadcast licenses. Okay, so they had a choice. Give this fucking scumbag some money to shut him the fuck up, or we go out of business. So it had nothing to do with them being liable for anything. They just made a business decision. See, look how far down he is. He knows he can't defend the very fine people hoax, the 34 felonies, the underlying crime that didn't have to be unanimously agreed upon. First of all, the very fine people hoax, he said later on it's not a hoax. Hoax is such a gay word. Hoax is like, this is a trick they're playing on people. No, it's just they didn't include the fact, and I always stand up for Trump on this. Later on in that speech, he said that white supremacists are bad people. So there you go for saying, because you think you know me. Secondly, the 34 felonies, whether you like it or not, are 34 legit felonies. They were misdemeanors based on a covering up for another crime, which makes them felonies. So he got 34 felonies. And if they were bullshit, you don't think the most powerful man in the world would have had them overturned yet. A guy with endless funds wouldn't have had them overturned yet. Sure. And as for the underlying crime not having to be unanimously agreed upon, that is the law. It doesn't have to be unanimously agreed upon. So you might not like it, but it doesn't mean it was wrong. I always defend that cocksucker Trump when people lie about him, by the way. Always. Disney, NBC, a porn star, and more. A porn star had to pay Trump money? And Disney and NBC, you're saying, were court ordered to give Donald Trump money. You know that's not true, right? Yeah, ABC, as I said a minute ago, agreed. They settled out of court to pay $15 million to Trump's presidential library. So nobody was court ordered to do anything. Less than 50% doesn't mean shit, you fucking douche. Clinton won presidency with 43% in 1992, but it was still a win. Again, this is you moving the goalpost. I never said it wasn't a win. When you find the clip of me saying Trump didn't win because he didn't get 50% of the vote, then you'd have a point. The guy said 70% of America voted for Trump. And I proved that not only did 70% of America not vote for Trump, but 50% of America didn't vote for Trump. You see now? Do you understand? Just out of curiosity. Because again, you guys got proven wrong, so now your butt hurts, so you keep moving the goalpost. Oh, not me. Not me. I direct your bullshit, or I address your bullshit directly, and I prove you wrong every time. With fake votes, yes. According to you. According to 63 federal judges, though, many of which were appointed by Trump and Trump's attorney general, his own attorney general, Bill Barr, and his daughter, Ivanka, nobody stole anything. Nobody cheated. Except for Trump. He tried to cheat. But my guy won, exactly. Don't call another man daddy unless you're gay. And I'm assuming you are, but I would never call, not even my dad would I call him daddy. ABC and CBS settled lawsuits with Trump. Yep. Like I said. So why did Trump receive a humanitarian award, Jesse Jackson? I don't know if he did, but if he did, what does that matter? What does that matter? What does that have to do with anything? Just out of curiosity, what? Yeah, I can find not a single thing. Even the National Security Archives, which says former President Trump wins Rosemary Award for worse than something. I can't find anything saying that he won a humanitarian award. Which would it be? What's the name of the award? Feeble Avery. I do. What did I dodge? Acid reflux. What did I dodge? Who gives a shit if he got 50%? The guy who said that he got 70%. You see what you do? You say something, I debunk it, and then you say, who cares about that? Well, you guys, because you're the ones that lied about it. 49.8%. And you did it now because you have absolutely no choice, Dark Matters. They hate Trump so much, why not vote Kamala? Because they weren't real. I haven't heard any facts yet, dipshit. Of course not, because you don't hear anything you don't want to hear. And I don't even know what that comment means. Why not vote Kamala? What does that mean? BBC is next. We'll see. They might settle just because he'll threaten to pull their broadcast license like he does with everybody. But they won't be found... they won't be court ordered to pay him anything. They won't be found liable or anything. What are your thoughts that the Amish come out to vote or came out to vote? Well, Elon Musk explained how he did that. He literally focused money and time and resources on the Amish community to get them to vote for Trump. And I'm not just saying that. It's not hate and bullshit. Look it up. The Elon explained exactly what he did to get Amish people to vote for Trump. It's a made-up award, yeah. Bill Barr wasn't on Trump's side at all. No, of course not. Of course not. I know. Anybody that doesn't agree with him 100% is not on his side. Let me tell you something. The Attorney General is not supposed to be on the side of the president. They're supposed to be on the side of the country as a whole and the side of the law. That's why we got Pam Bondi now, because she's a loyalist, and Trump wanted to make sure that that never happens again. Them voters disappeared in 2024. Where did they go? This is another brilliant argument. Like when I went to bed, Trump was winning. When I woke up, he was losing. You do know, right, that not every single voter who voted for one guy will vote for the next guy, right? Like, do you realize in any way, shape, or form how ridiculous you sound when you say that because there wasn't as many voters for Kamala as there was for Biden, it must have all been bullshit? You know that people vote based on the individual, right? So they're not going to get the same. I can tell you what, Trump didn't get the exact same amount of voters as he did last time. That's not how it works. People vote in some elections. They don't vote in others. The Amish don't have TVs, so they never saw what happened on January 6, 2021. Yeah, probably not. They changed the video, so yes, they will pay and lose in court. Yeah, if that was the case, Fox News would be out of business because they do that constantly. They even edited a video where Trump said, when they asked, will you release the Epstein files? He said, yes, and they cut it off, and that's what they aired. But when some other news publications or networks, whatever, got a hold of the whole interview, what it showed is that after he said yes, he said no. Now, that is a million times worse than what Trump sued 60 Minutes for with Kamala's answer or whatever. And Trump just made 60 Minutes edit his interview, but that's no big deal either, right? Hundreds of thousands of black people were disenfranchised in Pennsylvania. I don't know what you're talking about specifically. Probably, though. They settle out of court because they're guilty. No, he threatens to take their broadcast license away. And then he does shit like he gets Stephen Colbert taken off the air and he gets Jimmy Kimmel suspended. So they take him very seriously. His FCC is working for him and they'll do whatever he tells them to. There were corrupt ballots and missing ballots. They just lied about that. All right, mercenary. Now I'm going to ask you one thing, and then I'm going to give it about 5 minutes and end the show. Please go get me the credible source that reported that. I'll be waiting right here. Mail-in ballots disappeared. Okay, go get me the credible source of that, please. Are you talking about 2020 or 2024, by the way? CBS paid the lawsuit because they had a bigger deal waiting for FCC clearance. Oh, yeah. There was a merger that they needed to get approved. And the only way they could get it approved is by Trump and his FCC. So it was a business decision. Yeah, I look up everything. Now, if you say this, it's your job to go look it up. Go find me the credible evidence that any of that stuff happened in the election. Go find me the credible source. It's no big deal, guys. I do it constantly on every live stream. So go ahead and I'll wait right here. Yes, I am smart enough to analyze statistics. Believe me, if you're a Trump supporter, I'm light years smarter than you. You could write up 1 billion ballots and stuff them into boxes and get nothing but arrested. Yeah. Yep. So in other words, you made the accusation and the burden of proof is on me. I've never heard it work like that before. The people in the fastest growing states that voted for Trump are now standing in bread lines. They sure are. My mother was lifelong Republican, but voted Harris after being dead for 5 years. It's not true. What a surprise. A MAGA person who hates the left just came in here and said that. They also said that he said his aunt worked in Biden's office or something like that. Yeah. I'm waiting, guys. I'm still waiting for the credible source because you wouldn't just be saying that, right? There would have to be some information backing it up. So I'm waiting. Please go get it. Of course, yeah, because they want to be able to steal elections like Trump tried to do. It doesn't apply to me. Sorry. Somebody tried that already with me. It doesn't apply. Can you provide receipts that the fastest growing up in economic states have bread lines, or is that just a claim? Well, if you looked during the time when people weren't getting their food stamps, a lot of these states, the lines outside of soup kitchens and stuff and churches that were giving away food were literally white people and all white people. You know what I mean? And there was guys out there making fun of them, talking about where's your MAGA hat, and they were getting all pissed off about it. Yeah. The only dead person I know of was a MAGA guy that used his Kate wife's ballot. Yep, I know about that case. My grocery expense is up 12% for the same items since January, with the exception of eggs. I'm sure. It is true. I verified it myself. Okay, so go get me the source. You see what I mean, guys? You say something to me, I look it up and prove you wrong. Then you say some other shit. I say, go look it up and bring me the source. You can't do it. Why can't you get the source? Why can't you get the source? I'm waiting. Doc Holliday, 410-941-9850. Call me up. Let's see how intellectually weak I am. And by the way, weak, you intellectual, you motherfucker, is spelled W-E-A-K. You fucking jerk off. I'm intellectually weak, but you can't spell the word weak in the context you're using it in. Yeah, you demolish me in a debate. So what does that mean? What does that have to do with anything? You know that the Trump's Thanksgiving claim about Thanksgiving is cheaper from Walmart this year. You know that's because last year there was 21 items and they were mostly premium brands, and this year it's 14 items and they're all generic great value brands, right? You know that's why it's cheaper, right? Even Walmart put out a statement saying that. I'm not a far left Democrat. No, Donald Trump is a monster, and nobody's wrong for saying that. Yeah, 410-941-9850. You got 2 minutes. Hurry. Let me see. What did Mike Ramey say? Who can't provide receipts? What am I supposed to provide receipts for? You realize it's them that can't provide receipts, right? You do realize that, right? Like, you tell me something specific you want me to look up, I'll look it up. I'm a racist? I'll tell you what, you wouldn't be able to tell by my friends group, that's for sure, by my social circle. I give sources. I have no choice. I give sources for every one of my claims. Literally. When the host Googles it, the weak cry and move the goalpost. When the host wants MAGA to prove their claim, they declare the host won't look things up. LOL, MAGA are so dumb. Yep. Federal minimum wage is $7.25. A pound of hamburger is $8.49 on the average. Those are facts. Yep. What did Mike Ramey say, though? I want to see what he said about Real ID. I don't even see Mike Ramey in the chat. That's amazing. Could somebody tell me what... Do you think it's a problem that California was giving out real IDs to illegals? Well, let me check it first. If they are, yeah, it's a problem. Is California giving out real IDs to illegals? Now, I want to tell you something about why. No, undocumented immigrants in California are not eligible for a federal Real ID card. The Real ID Act is a federal law that requires proof of legal presence in the U.S. to obtain a compliant ID. However, California does offer a separate non-Real ID compliant driver's license and a standard ID that are accessible to all eligible residents, regardless of immigration status. Yes, and we already established that. And the reason for it makes a lot of sense. There's illegals. There's going to be illegals no matter what. Well, they weren't real, Mike. They might have been caught with real IDs, but they were fake real IDs. That sounds like an oxymoron, but I just read it to you, bro. Mike, believe me. It's not possible. I had to go to get a real ID because I travel a lot. Do you know what I had to fucking go through? The birth certificate, all the documentation to get a real ID. So anyway, the reason they're eligible to get any license is because there's going to be illegal aliens no matter what you do. And those illegal aliens are going to drive. And when they drive, they're going to get in accidents like everybody else. And they're not going to have insurance. So now regular citizens that are hit by illegal aliens are fucked, because the illegal aliens can't get insurance because they don't have a driver's license. So that's why they're being given driver's licenses. Oh, without a doubt, Jeff C. I'll tell you what, Sling Blade, Google it any way you want. Any way you want. And as a matter of fact, let's see where this comes from. California Immigrant Policy Center, California DMV, USA Today, Immigrant Legal Resource Center, CaliforniaDMV.gov, and CalMatters.org, California State Portal, CA.gov, California Immigrant Policy Center, Simran Law Group, and it states it in the Real ID Act. Is that enough sources, or are they all bullshit? Just out of curiosity. No. They can't. Illegal immigrants cannot vote. That's just more bullshit they were fed. They cannot vote. You can't have insurance without a license. Wrong again. No, you cannot. How is that possible? Because no, you can't. So the foreign truck driver thing is just a big lie. No, I just clearly stated for you that they can get a license. They can't get a real ID. Yeah, I know. You guys are the worst, man. I hate when people question Google as the source when the internet has been made the only source. What are y'all expecting? Encyclopedias. Yes, that's literally what's on here. And again, every answer that you Google, you see this? I Googled it and it gave me the answer, right? Now, when I hit this, see that up at the top right there? When I hit that, it tells you all the sources that were used to compile the information and come up with that answer. And one of them is the California fucking DMV.org. So it's not news publications. These are government resources that Google doesn't just give you a Google answer. You do know that, right? No matter what you ask Google, at the top, there's going to be a whole fuck ton of sources that Google used to get their answer. Again, it's not from AI. AI is used to compile the sources and give you an answer. AI is not making up the answer. You can't have insurance without a license. Of course not. Crazy, you need an active ID and Social Security to get a real ID. I needed a birth certificate too in PA. Bullshit. It's so they can't be registered, or so they can be registered to vote. Americans should have uninsured motorists on their policies. Illegal aliens, whether they have an ID or not, cannot vote. You have to be a registered voter. Have you ever registered to vote? You know what you have to put in there? Your social fucking security number. Okay? Illegal aliens cannot vote. Period. The end. No, California might have. I don't know. But the federal government didn't. That's for sure. It's almost like illegal immigrants can't get a social security number, isn't it? Yeah. Is chat so dumb they think Google is the source? Google is a search engine. They do. They think Google is giving you a left-leaning answer. Even though I can Google shit about Donald Trump, and guess what? They'll give me the right answer. Even if it's an answer that I don't want to hear. I get the right answer. You know? Watch this. You want to see something? Because I already know Donald Trump didn't cheat in the 2024 election. At least as far as I know, he didn't. So watch this. Did Donald Trump cheat in the 2024 election? They're going to tell me no. Well, it didn't give me a simple answer, but it says Trump would have been convicted if not elected. I don't know. Fact check. Trump lies at 8. Oh, let me ask AI. Hold on. Did Donald Trump cheat in the 2024 election? There is no, look, 10 sites. Do you see? 10 sites up there. That's where they gather their information from. There is no evidence that Donald Trump or anyone else cheated in the 2024 U.S. election. Now, according to your logic, anything bad about Trump, that's the answer Google's going to give me. And anything good about Democrats, that's the answer Google's going to give me. It's not Google. For the love of fucking Christ, I've been trying to tell you. It's the sources. It's the sources. Your party lies to you. James Scotel, whatever your name is, that is the funniest thing I've ever heard coming from a Trump supporter. The Republicans lie to you on a daily basis. Trump lies. He lied 3,000 times in his first term. That's like 60-something lies a day. Okay? Verifiable lies, not left-wing liberal, just made them up lies. No. Verifiable lies. He lied 36 times in the debate against Joe Biden. And he could have not even spoken and won that election. Or won that debate. Okay? So when Donald Trump tells you that he's going to bring your prescription drug prices down 1,500% when that's mathematically impossible, and he says it 30, 40, 50 times over a matter of months, is he lying to you? With stuff like that, is he lying to you? When he lied to you that the election was stolen, and it was proven a million different ways that it wasn't, was he lying to you then? Illegals have and are voting. No, they're not, and they haven't. Find me the source. Go find me the source of widespread illegal voter fraud or illegal immigrants voting, whatever. Go find me the source. They aren't supposed to vote, but they do. No, they don't. You want to see something? Can illegal immigrants vote? 10 sites. No, illegal immigrants, non-citizens cannot vote in U.S. federal or state elections. Voting in federal elections for president, vice president, U.S. senator, and U.S. representative is explicitly prohibited by federal law for non-citizens. Federal and state elections are for citizens only. Only U.S. citizens may vote in federal and statewide elections. Every state requires voters to attest to their U.S. citizenship when registering to vote under penalty of perjury. Strict penalties. Non-citizens who register to vote or cast a ballot in a federal election face several penalties, including fines, up to a year in prison, deportation, and potential denial of future immigration status or naturalization efforts. This acts as a significant deterrent. Extremely rare occurrence. Audits by election officials and numerous studies from both nonpartisan and conservative organizations have consistently found that instances of non-citizens voting illegally in federal elections are exceedingly rare and not widespread enough to impact election outcomes. Claims of widespread voting by illegal immigrants are considered false by election experts and have been debunked by numerous studies and official audits. Existing systems, including voter registration verification processes, are in place to prevent non-citizen voting in major elections. Sources: BBC, no big deal. National Immigration Law Center, kind of a big deal. Ballotpedia.org, kind of a big deal. ABC News, no big deal. Bipartisanpolicycenter.org, kind of a big deal. NPR, no big deal. House.gov, 18 USC 611, voting by aliens, kind of a big fucking deal. Now, if you go to house.gov and read that, what you'll find out is that illegal immigrants cannot vote in federal and state elections. In Cali, ID for non-citizens are a different color. No one will confuse them. Gotcha. See? I gave you answers, but you ignore the hard ones. I appreciate that you aren't up there screaming like most lefties, but this is more for MAGA LOLs, not real discourse. I wish you well. Let me see where you gave me real answers, pulling the strings. I'm going to go back through your comments. Pulling the strings, pulling the strings. Still going. Can't find a single comment by pulling the strings. Nope, not a single comment from you. But thanks for the real answers. You know how many people a show do that? I already answered you. And I looked through the comments. You never answered shit. Why would I ask it that? Cali has been corrupted for decades. Yeah. Yeah, only Cali. You're right. Still a Google answer. Nope. The answer came from 10 different sources, one of them being house.gov, you asshole. Which is now also, by the way, controlled by, the Republicans. No, that's just your opinion. That is completely untrue. It's just your opinion. And again, for the love of Christ, it is a fucking search engine. It compiles data from all different sources and gives you an answer. And then you could check those sources. Guys, you isn't it funny? I'm going to close with this. Guys, please hit the like button and subscribe. Give me a second. All right. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Everybody. Well, not everybody. You MAGA people won't do it. But the good people in the chat, the good people, please hit the like and subscribe right now. Sunburst, Robert B. What's up, man? Thanks for the $2, bro. All right. So this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to close with this. The amazing part about MAGA and why this movement needs to be studied for centuries, the brains of you people need to be analyzed and studied, is because in order to convince yourself that Trump is the guy and you made the right decision, You have made a conscious decision to stop believing everyone except for Donald Trump. Scientists, full of shit. Medical experts, full of shit. Everything, National Institute of Health, professors, everybody, full of shit. Okay. Fox News, true. OAN, true. Breitbart, if that's still a thing, true. Donald Trump, always telling the truth. Republicans, always telling the truth. But climate scientists, everything, every expert in their field is lying unless they give you an answer you want to hear. So all of these people are lying, all of them, except for the most well-known, most famous, most well-documented liar in the history of America. He's the only one telling you the truth. That's why everyone laughs at you. You have convinced yourself that Google is lying to you. Government websites are lying to you. Wikipedia is lying to you. Every news publication in the world that's not right-leaning is lying to you. Medical experts, like I said, health experts of all kinds, climate experts, scientists, everything. They're all lying to you, except for Donald Trump and the Republicans. Amazing. I'm out, guys. Peace. Hit the like and subscribe, please. Bye.